Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. We're always live from the Family Leisure Studios in beautiful Memphis, Tennessee. I am Gabe Kuhn, producing the program on the ones and twos. Is Go Tigers 247 writer Brian Dacus. Brian, how are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well, Gabe. How about you?
I'm doing well. My partner does pre and post for the Ole Miss Football Radio Network. He is Brett Stats Northworthy. Brett, how are you?
I'm doing well. Not tonight, but tomorrow night. The Fighting Dacuses of Bryant will play.
How about it? We have our first four tonight, so we do really have a lot to get to. First half of our show brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. We got Texas A&M Corpus Christi versus Texas Southern first, and then Indiana Wyoming. That should be an interesting matchup to see who plays in to that 12 seed. I think I kind of like Wyoming early in my early looks at it, but we'll talk about that.
Isn't Indiana a good example of sometimes the bar gets reset? It goes lower because of years of desperation. Mike Woodson had a good first year there, didn't he?
We have to give him credit for it. And here's the other thing, too. I see a lot of people talking about Hubert Davis and how he didn't really live up to the hype this year with that North Carolina team. I thought he had a fine year.
Pretty good year.
He had a fine year. And I feel like a lot of those former players.
Okay, it wasn't Bill Guthridge's first year, but he wasn't left with the team Bill Guthridge was left with from Dean Smith.
A lot of those former players that take over those premier blue blood type jobs get criticized pretty early. I thought
Memphis.
Mike Woodson and Hubert Davis.
While Memphis is not blue blood, it is premier.
Mm-hmm. Now, we also have NFL free agency going on, and the Jags have gone on an absolute spending spree, and I have no idea why. They're not going to compete for anything, but they have spent $205 million.
Did Sean Codd win the Powerball?
Worth of potential contract money. They have put out that much. That's the potential number. $205.5 million, including two wide receivers. They're going to spend $26 million a year on. The Cowboys have done a whole lot as well. We finally have a contract number for Aaron Rodgers. Also in the MLB, we have some things going on. People are moving around. We had the Fernando Tatis Jr. He has a broken wrist. I wonder when he was planning on telling everybody about that.
Yeah, I'm off the Padre fever.
And then Pete Alonso. Did you see that? Rolled his car 3 times. That looked terrible. And I don't know if you saw the crash site in the car itself.
Did he have on the belt?
Yeah, he had on the belt, and he was totally fine.
Airbag?
He no injuries, none. But rolled his car 3 times, and he is okay. And he had a
miracle.
Yeah, he had a pretty. It was a tough to watch interview, a little presser that he had where he talked about how he really feels lucky to be alive.
I can tell you now, I got my Mets in the expanded playoffs.
And hey, Freddie.
The Mets, not my Mets.
You're not your Mets. Go on. Freddie Freeman is
he's gone.
He's gone. The Braves went and traded for Matt Olson from the A's yesterday, and they pay him 8 years, $168 million.
He's locked in, and it's the end of Freddie Freeman there for now.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a good player.
Yep. Yeah, we're still waiting on our Cardinals to do something. We'll see what they get done. As far as
I think it's in play for Albert.
Yep. Yeah. We talked about it yesterday, though.
Tim Doolin on Dave's show this morning. Tim is very plugged into the Albert camp with Albert Pujols. He's very bullish on it.
If you want somebody to fill the role better than him, I think there are better names out there, though. But the nostalgia factor is going to be there.
Let me ask you guys this. For a season slash line for Albert Pujols, I'm going to go old school, not all the slashes across there because I don't know what some of them even mean. Let's say 275 at bats, 235 batting average, 18 homers, 62 RBI.
That's okay. That's
Would
fine.
y'all take that?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think there's other guys. You'd take it, but there's other guys that could give you more. I think a guy like Kyle Schwarber, Jock Peterson as a short-term
They don't sell
DH.
any boxes.
Well,
they don't sell any signage.
If the team wins more, it could sell potentially more boxes.
That's right.
No, I mean early in the season, you get Albert. They're going to sell out absolutely everything. We'll get to that. As far as our rundown is concerned, we have top and not top, bottom of the segment, bottom of the hour. We have Greg Gaston from the Tiger Sideline to talk some Tigers. Then we do our bracket reveals today.
And we know today's not Thursday when we normally have on Greg, but we really don't know what day it is this week with the schedule.
Yes, we are today and tomorrow going to be out early. Thursday, Friday, no show at all.
All basketball.
So at the bottom of the hour after Greg, we're going to do the left side of our bracket, which will be the West Regional and the East Regional. Then at 4 o'clock, we bring on Brent Beard, as we normally do, college football and college basketball. 4:30, Drew Hill joins us from the Daily Memphian to talk some Grizzlies. Grizzlies in action tonight And then after Drew, we will get to the right side of our bracket. So the South and the Midwest Regional, 5 o'clock. Bo Marchant joins us, talks some NFL. At about 5:15, we get out for Taco Bell crunch time because we have to accommodate our coverage of Ole Miss baseball at 5:30. First pitch will be at 6. AutoZone listener line, 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You can also watch us live and message us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and at sports56whbq.com. So, Brett, earlier today I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, and I saw this come across. The Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act, which will make daylight savings time permanent and make it so we no longer need to change our clocks twice a year. I think it still has to go through the House, but
Few more hoops.
It reminded me of you. It reminded me.
It's all I ask as an American.
You going door to door for whoever you need to,
for whatever candidate, whatever party. And if they'll tack on an hour, I really do it. But it's all I ask. I
like having the sun out when I leave the station. I like seeing light out.
I want sun out at 9:45 in the summer at night.
Right. I get frustrated when it's dark. Kind of depresses me a little bit.
When it changes in the fall, and we're here and we leave and it's pitch, that I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll see.
Single dumbest thing we do collectively as a country is mess with all these clocks.
How many times has this been tried to pass through? They've tried to pass this through a whole lot.
And
it'll probably get denied by the end of it.
I think in the 70s we even did it, and then because of gas lines and energy shortage, we changed. But I think we tried it in the 70s, not leaving it. I think. Somebody help me out there on that.
Yeah. Something I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what happened there in the 70s with the
you know about 71. That's it in the 70s.
Yes, yeah. I think you're giving me too much credit. I know about the number 71.
That's it. That's I mean.
So NFL free agency, I mean, we're rolling right along. We do finally have a contract number on Aaron Rodgers, and it's pretty ridiculous. 3 years. And he said it wasn't 4 years, $200 million. It's 3 years, $150. So it's $50 a year. From a valuation standpoint, it is all guaranteed.
He earned every penny of it.
But that's
the market. I don't blame him for getting it.
That number includes the year he already had. So in actuality, it's a 2-year, $124 million extension. Next year, Brett, the valuation of his contract, $59 million for 1 year of service.
And the cost of living in Green Bay. Of course, he's only there in football season.
I mean, look, you had to go do it. You had to go make this contract happen. I'm serious when I say this. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep Devontae Adams with the way he's talking about this contract and what he wants.
Could be difficult. All joking aside, I've said my guy from my childhood, Bart Starr, that's probably not accurate. Although 2 Super Bowls, 1 and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, worth something. Mm-hmm. 2 beats 1. That's all Favre had. That's all Rodgers has. And 3 titles from the NFL championship game from when they either no AFL or they didn't play each other. Who is the all-time face of the Packers? One big figure. No Mount Rushmore, no 4 of them. Just you.
And that's different based on what era of football you're watching too.
I'd
say for me, growing up in the Brett Favre era, I'd have to go Brett Favre to a certain extent. And Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't added any more than Brett Favre has. He needs another championship with this contract, or else he's going to be right there with Brett Favre, and there's nothing else he can. And people wanted to give him that. People wanted to say he has surpassed Brett Favre. He's a better quarterback. Doesn't throw as many interceptions. Doesn't make mistakes with the ball.
I mean, it's not Starr or Paul Hornung or Jimmy Taylor.
Yeah,
it's not.
That's a little dated, but can you say Aaron Rodgers? I think
now,
you
I'm
could
talking
get away
player.
with it.
I think you'd still say Lombardi, but I'm talking player.
Yeah,
player.
I think you could obviously say Aaron Rodgers, but he hasn't done much more.
But one's not insignificant.
It's not insignificant.
It's significant, isn't it?
But the way he has played and the amount of stats he's accrued in this past happy year,
MVPs.
You expected more than one, right?
But expected
more than one,
2 or 3 after he got one in 2010.
I think it's an incredibly fair thing to say. He needs to go get a Super Bowl in these 3 years. He needs to. He has.
But what more validation does it get him? I know
it surpasses him on the all-time list. It separates him from Brett Favre as a Packer. It makes.
But hadn't he done that with all the passing numbers and the yardage and the wins and
I wonder
the money?
You know what? And I wonder if Packers fans
now,
out there.
I'm
how
mostly
they feel.
with you. I'm just playing.
I understand what you're saying. But I wonder where the Packers fans and media feel about that, how they feel about that. Because Brett Favre has some gaudy numbers. He just took a lot of chances with the ball. He threw a lot of interceptions.
Kept both teams in it.
Right? So I do, without, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I think Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback. I think,
Me too.
no question.
And better than Starr, better than Favre.
But how can you, without having that extra level of winning, say that you are a better Packers quarterback, a better Packers great?
It'd be difficult.
It would. It would. And then you look around at what the Packers have going on. Devontae Adams, he said he won't play under the franchise tag, and they're not really close together on a deal. And then Zadarius Smith, one of their defensive ends, one of their stand-up rushers, has to be released. It's
and Rodgers getting some criticism for no haircut, no finessing it, like Tom Brady was always so good about. Peyton Manning did not. He took his.
That's fine.
And you have every right to do that. It's like I said about Albert Pujols, like what said about LeBron the first time. What part of free agent do you not get? What part of it's time for me to get paid do you not get?
But then I feel it's hard for me to take the complaining from Aaron Rodgers when Devontae Adams doesn't get signed back.
Solid point.
That's the issue I have.
Solid.
If you want Devontae Adams,
we ate up all the money with you, Aaron.
If that's your right-hand man, let him stay around. Try to give him an opportunity to stay around. This $50 million a year thing ain't going to keep him around.
Peyton and the Colts paid the price on defense. The Patriots paid the price with those receivers. Kevin Hogan?
Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan. Ben Hogan? Whatever Hogan I can come up with. I made up a name, didn't I? I mean, whatever Hogan you can come, former lacrosse player.
Yeah.
And then some of the ones that excelled for Brady.
Well, and also,
they always had Gronk.
Aren't we getting to the point, too, with NFL football? We can't really compare to anything.
Why'd I go Kevin Hogan? I'm sorry.
Kevin Hogan was a quarterback from Stanford.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
Yeah.
There is a Kevin Hogan. I feel like we're getting to that point in the NFL. We can't compare anything to the Patriots dynasty. We can't. They found value.
Time will only make it even more remarkable.
And they found value in pieces that
Troy
no
Brown.
one else could find value in. And Bill Belichick
Danny
is
Woodhead.
famous for not spending money. Famous for knowing how to put together a good team.
Playing Vrabel on offense.
Yes. It's just,
I mean, who would waste time in a week doing that?
I swear you can't. We're getting to the
Well,
point
that's an
where
eye. That's a real gift.
You can't compare anymore. Also, you look around the NFL, the Cowboys, Bryant, sad day.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I just don't get it.
I don't either.
They told DeMarcus Lawrence to take a haircut.
And the wheels being split up more ways now.
He takes a haircut. 3 years, $30 million. They sign him back. That's all good and cool. Amari Cooper gets traded to the Browns, so that contract's gone. But then they immediately sign Michael Gallup, who's been perpetually hurt, to be honest with you. I like Michael Gallup. Really,
when he's in
talent.
there.
5 years,
the whole availability thing, you say.
5 years, $62.5 million. I thought the thought process for the Cowboys was to go save money when they got rid of Amari Cooper's contract, but they go and spend it. They go and immediately spend that on another wide receiver that they think can.
Do you think Cowboys are looking to the draft
thing.
to help the offensive line?
I think so. They let Connor Williams walk today. Connor Williams gets signed by the Dolphins. Lyle Collins.
Feels like Jacksonville's relying on the draft, and where they draft, they can.
Lyle Collins is kind of
on the way out.
We'll see what happens with that. And then you get back to Marcus Lawrence. I thought that was fine. That was what you needed to do. You thought you were going to get Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory says that he agrees to a deal with you, and then what? An hour later says he's going to the Broncos on a 5-year, $70 million deal. I think the Cowboys so far, and it could change through draft. It could change in a lot of ways. I think they've sort of botched this offseason in a lot of ways.
They've missed.
Yeah.
I don't know if a complete swing and a miss, but foul tip, still a strike.
Yeah. I don't think they have made themselves actively better. I think that's sort of what I'm getting at.
NCAA tournament time, it's here. Brett Norsworthy here for FanDuel. Take a shot on college basketball this March during March Madness with a risk-free bet on FanDuel Sportsbook. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or already have an account. All customers get a risk-free bet on the bracket. Just sign in to the FanDuel Sportsbook app to claim yours today. If you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code CASH to get in on the action. Then you can bet on that underdog you've had your eye on, or just go with the favorite. Either way, it's risk-free. Tonight in Dayton, I love Texas A&M Corpus Christi plus the 3.5 in the Battle of Texas against Texas Southern. And with cash out, the ball's in your court. So you can close out your bet whenever you want before the game's even over. There's no better place to bet the tournament than at FanDuel Sportsbook. Join now with promo code CASH, or if you already have an account, sign into the FanDuel Sportsbook app to claim your risk-free bet today. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $5. Offer is non-transferable. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. This hour of our show, every day, brought to you by the great people at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Call them at 901-362-8833. Any service inquiry, that's the number to call. The one and only Lexus dealership in town. Great offers on all 2022 models and special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2022 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design they make for the luxury driving experience. 901-362-8833, online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
And seeing this bracket right in front of me leads me to my top story of the day. We have some NCAA tournament basketball tonight.
Real tournament.
First four.
And NIT.
A&M, well, whatever. A&M Corpus. By the way, our guy from the Barking Crow.
He's
having a good time.
Fantastic the past 2 days.
Just fantastic.
Living the life.
NIT Stu, our guy.
Carrying the banner.
I don't even,
Way to go, Stu. Where'd you get the jacket, Stu?
First 4 games, we have 2 tonight, Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Y'all know that line, don't
and
you?
then Texas Southern.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The network gave it to me.
And then Indiana and Wyoming. And then tomorrow we get Bryant and Wright State, the Fighting Bryant Dacuses. And then the Notre Dame versus Rutgers.
We're pulling for Bryant, aren't we?
Oh, all the way.
You got him in the finals?
I have him winning the national championship.
One shining moment.
It's just the start of a tournament that I'm really excited to see. A whole lot of sort of side things going on and nothing bigger than what Coach K has going on. Any game from here on out could be the last game
Isn't that something?
of Coach K's tenure. And it's wild to even think about, and I just wonder for his team going into it if they're going to be distracted. For us, you look at the Tigers in the tournament for the first time in about 3,000 days. It's been so long since the last time they were in. It was an 8-9 matchup last time. It's an 8-9 matchup this time against Boise State. Let's see if they can make a run. Let's see if they can win a game. Should be fun to watch.
It will be. It will be a lot of fun. My top story, the losing streak. I'm sorry. That was yesterday's top story. I got to get today's paper in front of me. Come on, Brett. In about 48 hours, Penny Hardaway's first game as head coach in an NCAA tournament game at the University of Memphis, it will be over. Josh Pastner lost his first NCAA tournament game, a heartbreaker on a Friday afternoon to Arizona. John Calipari lost his first game as a Tiger head coach in the NCAA tournament to Arizona State. Larry Finch won his first game in South Bend against Baylor. Dana Kirk won his first NCAA tournament game over Wake Forest in a classic. And Gene Bartow won his first NCAA tournament game over South Carolina on the way to the Final Four. In the modern era, NCAA tournament first-time coaches, 3-2. On Thursday, Penny Hardaway tries to make it 4-2.
Not top story of the day.
For me, I'm going back to the NFL for this. The Jaguars, what in the world are they doing? I don't really understand the thought process of going on this spending spree. But the Jaguars, who just got off of a year where Urban Meyer just put it to sleep. I mean, it did nothing with that team. Tim Tebow was part of it for a time, tried to hire Chris Doyle.
What a mess.
They're coming up off this mess of a year where they're not going to be able to compete no matter who they go sign on the open market. They signed Christian Kirk, Foye Oluokun, by the way, shout out, St. Louis. He went to the same school as Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott, one of the private schools out there. Foley Fatukasi played him at UConn. Brandon Scherf, Evan Ingram is a Jaguar. and then Zay Jones. And they're spending like they just got their hands on mom's credit card. It's just like, what? I don't get it.
Shad Khan won the Powerball.
$205.5 million worth of potential contract money given out. They got 2 wide receivers who, Christian Kirk maybe wide receiver 2, more likely on a good team wide receiver 3.
On a really good team,
Zay
3.
Jones, wide receiver 4.
And I love Evan Ingram, but there's no blocking. I just want to catch the ball.
None.
No inline blocking.
Zay Jones, who's a wide receiver 4 probably at best, maybe 5, maybe a guy who's not even
You're
in
not getting
rotation.
Evan Ingram to seal the edge in the run game.
Those 2 wide receivers that they paid, Kirk and Zay Jones, $26 million per year for the next 3 years. I see a lot of money spent, and I understand spending money on your team trying to get them better, but this just makes no sense at all. But it is what it is.
Is it in the name of trying to be trying?
Yeah.
You got to spend the money. I mean, it's there.
But that's not a good team.
No.
It's just not a good team. And Evan Ingram can catch the ball, but
sure can.
You got to take him out on first and second down.
It's no blocking. He's not hitting the blocking sled. My not top story, everyone's settling in, I think, from all I hear. I sure have on Gonzaga as the favorite. This is no longer the Richie Fromm, Matt Santangelo upset darlings of the late 90s, early 21st century. This isn't even Dan Dickow and then Adam Morrison teams. They've long ago arrived. They have arrived. But to be one of the greats, you got to finish it off. How did they zoom past Memphis when they were out there playing each other non-conference? Memphis was far and away superior. Well, that was John Calipari, and that's how they have zoomed past Memphis. They had Mark Few. They have Mark Few. They kept Mark Few, and Memphis had bad coaching hires in Josh Pastner and in Tubby Smith. Now we're still waiting to see what Penny Hardaway can do in the NCAA tournament, but that coaching stability with Mark Few is how they zoom past the Tigers.
Mm-hmm. And something a little smaller, a little different on my not top story that I wanted to mention before we get out of this first segment. Memphis running back coach Anthony Jones is headed to TCU, and he actually got there right when I was finishing up my career there. Big Memphis high school football guy, was the head coach at Cordova High School, did a really good job there, and that's how he got the job. But he's been fast rising for a while, and it just seems like it's probably the way he needed to head after having all of these running backs seemingly that have gone on to bigger and brighter things in the NFL. And it looks like he got that opportunity with Sonny Dykes at TCU. But I'll tell you this right now. The Tigers will miss him in recruiting. He will be missed. But I don't think there's any hard feelings there by any stretch of the imagination. But he's certainly a guy you love to have on your recruiting or on your staff in general for recruiting in the city of Memphis because he does a great job there. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Coming on the other side, we're going to bring in our good friend from the Tiger sideline, Greg Gaston.
Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane bring you Sports 56 Grind Time. Brought to you by Poultry Power. Weekdays from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sure, this spot for Sweetgrass Next Door in Cooper Young could be all about March Madness. With all the high-def TVs all tuned to the games you want to watch, it would make sense to spend this whole time talking about enjoying college basketball at Sweetgrass Next Door. But there's so much more to the place. It would be a shame to dwell on just that. This is the perfect neighborhood bar with great food, great drinks, and most importantly, great people. If you want to go to some out-of-control chain to watch games, that's your choice. But if you want to be in a place where you'll feel comfortable and see the games, it's Sweetgrass Next Door in the heart of Cooper Young. That's the place for you.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder. Elders Roofing Solutions.
Action247.com is your Tennessee sportsbook for same-day pay. Action247.com. Local, legal. A sportsbook by Tennesseans, for Tennesseans. Win a little or win a lot. Action247 has same-day pay. The other guys make you wait for your winnings. No more waiting with Action247 same-day pay. Visit us online at Action247.com. Local, legal. Action247. You got action.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Are you ready for the Gossett Mitsubishi Spring Sales Event? It's on at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Need 41 MPG highway with gas prices that keep soaring? We got you covered in 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. $189 a month or $14,999. 5 seats, 27 MPG combined. 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. $299 a month or $23,037. Plus, redesigned 2022 Outlander with 7-passenger seating and 27 MPG combined. $359 a month or $26,998. And get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett got it at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months, 500 military rebate, G4, NHF 03943, MSRP 16985, Sport, NU006-786, MSRP 25407, Outlander NZO 6388, MSRP 292, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn.
Back rolling on Sports Time. AutoZone listener line, 901-360-8255. Getting the Zone AutoZone. Text to that. Questions, comments, concerns. Also, text us, message us on our social, Sports 56 WHBQ, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Without further ado, let's bring in our friend Greg Gaston from the Tiger Sideline, brought to you by South Hall Cafe, Mount Moriah Auto Sales, Mid-South Hobbies, 3A Collisions, Neil's Bar and Grill, and Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine. Greg, what's happening, man?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I understand no shows with the tournament on, Thursday and Friday, so thanks for accommodating me and bringing me on.
Thank you, Greg.
Tigers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll be
Absolutely.
free. I'll be free if you guys need anybody.
And especially for
I'll
you,
be hanging around.
fresh out of the dental chair today. Thank you, playing with pain.
Well, I didn't have to get a cavity filled or root canal, so it was just a simple clean, so I'm doing well.
Now,
and by the way,
do you know a good dentist in the family?
I think I do.
Okay,
Dr.
good.
Dory Sellers. Let me give
Do
a
so.
free plug out here for Dr. Dory Sellers. By the way, Gabe, I'm going to take you up on it. I'm going to have you on Thursday and Friday at 7:02. Get up real early.
Perfect.
Early.
Hey, I'll be up and at him.
And Greg, let's be honest with our listeners. Dory's not just your son's wife. She is the mother of your grandchildren, so we got to help her out.
She is the mother of 2 of my 3 grandchildren, and she's a terrific dentist. So this isn't just a plug. Look, I'm not going to sit in that chair and have my teeth beaten up by anybody, but the folks over there at Grove Avenue Grove Avenue Dental.
Very good.
But Dory Sellers is she's a terrific dentist.
And
If you need one, there
I
you
saw
go.
your grandson on the jumbotron at the Houston game when they what's the movie they reprised from when
Lion King.
Simba.
The Simba camp.
Yeah, you don't know.
Lion King.
Brett,
Wait,
come
here's the thing,
on.
Greg. You know about Lion King, right? You have
Sure.
to. Yeah.
I don't.
Brett didn't know a thing about it.
I
Never had heard of it.
I didn't know where they got the bit from, but I think it's darling. I think it's
Simba.
great.
It's Simba. Simba's the main character.
And your little grandson
Yeah.
looks so sweet on it.
Well, thank you. Yeah. The Lion King was.
You think
It's a
Yeah.
classic. It's a classic, Greg. I don't know how, but now they try to do the live action everything. I've never understood the fascination with trying to recreate all those type of movies.
I'd be careful
in
with
live
that.
action.
Wait, you're surprised that Disney's trying to make more ways to make money?
Well, I mean, never
ways?
mind. Good point.
Well, ESPN times are tough at Disney. Greg, Tigers are back in the tournament, and today, and I threw this at Peter Edmondson in the hallway, and I would have never guessed it. I was looking at all-time most points scored for various local schools. Ernie Grunfeld at Tennessee, Mario Credit at Arkansas, 1989. I bet you were covering this game, Greg. I bet you were there either TV or for here. Peter was there. Robert Sally, 35 against Cal State Northridge, a Tigers record. Top Larry Keenan by 1. If somebody breaks Robert Sally's record Thursday, that'll be a big game. That'll be a W. That might be half the points scored against Boise.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good accomplishment because it's a good defense like Boise State. And that's a name for the blast from the past. But I think as far as Robert Sally is concerned, yes, I was there. I covered, I don't know how many tournaments I've been able to cover, and it's unfortunate that it's unfortunate really for all Tigers fans, Brett. When you think about it, they were back in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 8 years. They got to go all the way out to Portland, Oregon. They got to play early Thursday. Folks are probably still driving back from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, covering them or watching them in the conference tournament finals.
It really hurts.
Expensive as heck. They're talking about airline tickets of upwards to $2,000. Of course, they're going to gouge you with the fuel situation, with everything that's going on with Ukraine and Russia. So really, it's going to be I would imagine, a limited amount of people that'll go out and support the Tigers. There will be some that'll make it out there, and I guarantee you that team will be happy to see every friendly face. But I think it's unfortunate. It's nothing the committee did. It's just unfortunate that this wasn't a game in which they could play in a driving city, something 7 hours, like a Milwaukee or back to the Fort Worth area. Yeah, Fort Worth or to Greenville, South Carolina, where it's drivable.
Indianapolis looks like across the street compared to Portland.
Indianapolis, yeah. These are all like 7-ish, 8 hours. But you're talking about not only a flight, but a long flight and an expensive flight.
But it is substantially less about that and more about the fact that the Tigers are actually back in this situation for the first time in a long damn time. And yes, you could talk about the draw they got. You could talk about them if they get through that Boise State game having to play the number 1 overall seed. But the Tigers turned around this season in a way that I don't think anyone thought that they'd have a chance to.
Oh, you're right on, Gabe. And don't get me wrong. I mean, people should be excited that they're back. It's been a long void. 8 years is way too long for the Tigers to go without being in the NCAA tournament. The only point I was making is it would have been nice to see an opportunity for more people to go and support them.
Right.
But look, they have a chance to shock the world, right? You beat Boise, that's not shocking the world, but you have a chance to advance and play Gonzaga. They're going to stomp Georgia State, and you're going to be in that inevitable position to be able to try to knock off not only a number 1 seed, but the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, where they will be a heavy underdog. And look, you can't ask for a better opportunity to put yourselves back into the consciousness of America as far as a basketball program, is to go in there and knock off Gonzaga. Now, Boise State will not be a picnic. That's first things first. I'm just looking ahead because I'm not a coach. I don't have to take it 1 game at a time. I can take it 2 games at a time. So I think if you can get that win, obviously you're going to have a chance to make some incredible noise and have that opportunity. And all you can ask for is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And really, that West region in general, Greg, is just loaded. I mean, 1 through 5, that's the toughest seeding you've seen. You look at Gonzaga, Duke, Texas Tech, who I think can make a substantial run with that defense. Then you have Arkansas, who was so great down the stretch of the SEC season, and UConn, who is gone under the radar in the Big East, but is a really, really good team. And Hurley's done a good job there.
Yeah, look, it's a tough region. It's tough. You got to win 6 games to win a national championship, so it's always going to be tough. The one thing about being a 9 or being an 8 is obviously if you win, you're going to be facing the 1. But the 9s have done well over the years against the 8s. It's pretty close, but the 9s have won 73 and the 8s 71. So obviously the odds a little bit in your favor with Memphis, and they're in the Vegas eyes. They're your favorite as well. They're a 2-point favorite. So Memphis will go in with the odds, at least from the Vegas standpoint, with them, and the history of the 9s beating the 8s a little bit more than the opposite way. I think they have a great opportunity. I also think it's really good for both schools, but to have that game that they played last year in the NIT,
Yep.
so there is some reference points when they go back and look at the style, look at the players. Some of the names have changed, right? Jalen Duren was not part of that Memphis team last year when Boise played them, and Boise lost Austin, who was a very good contributor last year to the team. But I think it helps that you have some familiarity with the team you're playing.
Yeah, and we know this about Boise. At the under 12-minute media timeout, they want the game to be 11-10.
Yes. Yeah, these are completely contrasting styles. Now, Boise does a lot of things that Memphis does. They miss free throws. They struggle with turnovers. So there are some things that don't sit well for Boise, but also Memphis has had those issues. Not a lot of them lately, but they've had a lot of those issues throughout the year. But as far as the styles, it couldn't be any more different. Boise's going to slow it down. They're going to be deliberate. They're going to look for backdoor cuts. It's not the Princeton offense, but it is a very deliberate offense. And they have some bigs. They have some guys they can play underneath, so they can score the ball. Memphis is going to try to push it. They're going to try to get points in transition, which they weren't able to do against Houston. I hope they're going to come out and try to press and force Boise into a tempo they don't want to play. We didn't see that as much against Houston, but we've seen it a lot down the stretch for Memphis. The issue that always rears its ugly head, or at least seems to all the time, is the early foul trouble for one of the bigs, whether it be Duren or DeAndre Williams. I think it happened to Duren in the SMU game, and then DeAndre, if I'm not mistaken, in the Houston game. And with their bigs, again, these aren't the bigs that you're going to face if you win and you play Gonzaga, but they are certainly talented bigs. You don't want to get into foul trouble. A game that's called very tight, I don't think favors Memphis. I hope they'll allow these guys to play a little bit, and Memphis can kind of force their style on Boise State.
Yeah, it's going to be a very deliberate, hypnotic style for Boise State. The Tigers' early lead paramount, because then you want to get them into your game, and then I think they have them. Greg, the answer may be already. That could be it. But what do you think Penny Hardaway, out of this weekend in Portland, we know if we're sitting here talking next week about Sweet 16, back off, Jack. He can say that to a lot of people, can't he?
Yeah, I think even if they lose to Boise State, he's going to be able to, temper the outcries of the people that wanted a change, because his first goal was to get to the tournament, and it's taken a while, and they've gone through trials and tribulations. But at least he can say, I took the team back to the NCAA tournament, and everything from here on out, we're going to get better and better and better. So he has that he can say. Now, talk is cheap, but at least he got to the tournament with a team that everybody expected them to get to the tournament. Now, if they're able to shock the world and advance to the Sweet 16, it's going to be crazy.
It's all the smoke then. I mean, he can say anything he wants to. It's a blank check.
Well, now you're talking 4 games to win a national championship. So, yeah, that's obviously it's going to be a huge mountain to climb if that's going to happen. I don't think there's too many people out there other than people that are picking with their heart over their head that's going to pick Memphis over Gonzaga. But at least you want to get that opportunity. You don't want to be looking ahead. These guys got to be focused on Boise because they know it's a challenge. The 8-9 games are even. They're coin flips. So if you win that one, then you're going to get that chance. Remember when Penny said he thought he had the best front line in the nation with DeAndre and with Jalen? Well, now we'll go up against a front line that many believe is definitely the best front line in Chet Holmgren and Drew Timme. So you want to see that. You want to get that opportunity. But as far as, people, I think, will calm down, Brett, now for the most part to say that, okay, I think it was a little premature, even though it's taken a while for people to say the guy should lose his job.
I really want to see that Holmgren-Duren matchup. Just contrasting styles. I want to see Duren, see if he can get out there on the perimeter with him and keep up. Now, I'm curious what you think about this, because we've seen growth from Penny Hardaway year 1 through 4. I think that's fair to say. But do you think this year we saw more growth than we have in the past?
Early on, I wasn't so sure. But as the season progressed, I think we have. And I think a lot of that has to do with him leaning on Larry Brown and leaning on his other assistant coaches. Because early on, they struggled, and I'm not just talking about the games where they were missing players. There were questionable decisions that he made. We were all questioning him in the media. And I wondered, and we all wondered how the dynamic worked, right, with Larry Brown and Cody Toppard and originally Rasheed Wallace, and now Jermaine Johnson. Does he listen to these guys? So I know the buck stops with him, but so we wondered about that. And then it seemed like as the season progressed, you had players in the press conferences and Penny himself come out and say, well, getting Jermaine back, he's been able to help us install this press that has really worked. And that Larry Brown and Cody Topper were doing things more offensively, where we're cutting more and making quicker passes and all that. So I think he has learned to lean on these guys. And remember, he didn't have Larry Brown. He finally has Larry Brown for the first time. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're in the NCAA tournament. Now, I'm not going to say it's all because of Larry, because they've had their tough spots along the way this year. But I think Larry's influence certainly made a difference, I think, in the overall coaching ability of Penny. Penny, I think, learned, it took him a while to be a little bit more stubborn with his guys as far as, I'm only going to play 7 or 8, or I'm going to give these guys 30 minutes, and the other guys, maybe they'll get a couple, or maybe they won't get any minutes at all. I think that was very important for him to make that decision to limit the bench. And I say limit it because there are guys that are just better than the other guys, right? If 12 guys were all sensational, then I have no problem in getting guys in and out and getting fresh bodies in there. But there's a big drop-off with some of these guys, and he didn't realize that. But finally he has. So
you got to learn.
Definitely grown. Yeah,
you got to learn. You live and you learn, and the best way, and sadly the hard way to learn, is out there in action, in play.
And you getting burned.
You can getting burned, getting
losses,
criticized.
Understanding what you have to get done in those losses. But Greg, appreciate it.
I think he's grown. Greg, thank you so much. Enjoy the tournament, and we really appreciate you being with us.
Absolutely, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
Greg Gaston with us every single week. And tonight, NCAA tournament, it begins with the 2 games in Dayton. Take a shot on college hoops this March with a risk-free bet at FanDuel Sportsbook. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or if you already have an account. All customers get a risk-free bet on the bracket. Just sign into the FanDuel Sportsbook app to claim yours today. Use promo code CASH. Cash. If you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code CASH. Then you can bet on that underdog you've had your eye on, or you can go with a favorite. Either way, it's risk-free. And with cash out, the ball's in your court, so you can close out your bet whenever you want before the game is even over. Tonight in Dayton, I talked about earlier, I like Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and I like Indiana laying the 4.5. Big 10 over Wyoming tonight. I like Indiana. There's no better place to bet the tournament than FanDuel Sportsbook. Join now with promo code CASH. If you already have an account, sign in to the FanDuel Sportsbook app to claim your risk-free bet today. Must be 21 or older. Present in Tennessee. Refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $5. Offer is non-transferable. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Bracket time. When we come back, we cover the left side of it, and then at the bottom of the second hour at about 4:45, we'll do the right side. But coming up next, the West region and the East region.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the next generation of drivers, where titanium ends and the carbon age begins. Introducing the new Stealth Carbon Wood driver from TaylorMade, with 60 layers of carbon twist-based technology designed for better energy transfer and faster ball speeds. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Like, I don't know. Can you just pick something and order? Yeah, but anyway, where are you at? You don't...
It only takes 2 seconds of distracted driving to become a statistic. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. Slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
The Jeep Celebration event means huge savings at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude, we Gossett at $369 a month. Need muscle in your life? 2022 Dodge Charger XST, $487 a month. 2022 Ram 1500 Tradesman Quad Cab, $529 a month. And 2021 Fiat 500X Pop, we Gossett at $359 a month. Plus, trade up and we'll give you more for your ride at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the best or shop online anytime at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 75 months at 3.99, 3,500 down, must finance through Chrysler. Renegade, MPN 28108, MSRP 285. Charger, NH 126,525, MSRP 36,780, 1500, NS 148,242, MSRP 39,010. Pop, MP 944,748, MSRP 28,560. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 3/21/2022. Dealer stock only.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts, boots, and more. Frontier continues to add new items in their women's boutique. Flare jeans and pants are in, and Frontier is fully stocked. There are daily arrivals with thousands of on-trend tops as well, all at amazing prices. And guys, Frontier's your #1 Carhartt store. No one has a larger selection of everyday fits and workwear by Carhartt. Wrangler and area clothing available too. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled and expanded world-famous boots showroom? Now there are even more dress and work boots in stock. There are over 1,000 pair of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, and Twisted X. Frontier recently added Hey Dude shoes with lots more on the way. As if the selection isn't reason enough, Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores. So when you're ready for your next pair, you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Time for another NCAA tournament schedule preview sponsored by Geico. March Madness is upon us with first 4 game action coming up tonight from Dayton. The marquee matchup of tonight's doubleheader will have the Indiana Hoosiers and the Wyoming Cowboys battling for the 12th seed in the East region and the right to face 5th seeded St. Mary's on Thursday. Follow all the games and the scores from around the country with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
Enjoy March matchups like never before with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Sign up using bonus code FASTBREAK, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older and present in Tennessee to wager. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire in 7 days from issuance. For problem gambling support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn.
Get it? Text a message, I don't know the number. Flexing on these every day.
Back in to wrap up hour number 1, and we're doing the left side of the bracket. Let's get into it. West and East.
Everybody agree on Gonzaga? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
How about it?
Oh, yeah.
That's always a good sound.
Isn't it?
That's a great
It's
one.
the OG one.
All right, let's
when they start bouncing around to upsets, let's go out to Toledo. Back to, Halifax, Nova Scotia. I don't think they've ever played a game in either place.
I think we should, though.
Yeah.
All right, Gonzaga, Georgia State, I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah, let's
now,
go.
the second game, I think, is the one that we need
This
to pay
is the
attention.
one. Just like on
Boise
Selection Sunday, we
State-
get to this one fast, don't we?
Boise State, Memphis. Let's start with Bryant, and then we'll go Brett.
You got it.
All the way around.
I'm a very superstitious person, so I'll go with Boise.
I'm going Memphis. I'm going Tigers.
I'm going Boise and fire away at the text line.
5-12, UConn, New Mexico State.
I'll go UConn.
UConn. Arkansas, Vermont.
Vermont!
Ooh!
Arkansas in a close, scary one.
I think Arkansas as well. I was very tempted to go with you there, Brian.
Yeah.
Very, very tempted. Alabama in the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame.
Give me Bama.
Bama, if shots are falling.
Yep.
Make shots is not much of an offensive game plan, but I'm still going Bama. Texas Tech, Montana State in the 3-14.
Guns up, Texas Tech.
TT.
Texas Tech. I think they can make a nice little run. We'll talk about that, though. Michigan State versus Davidson, 7-10.
Steph Curry ain't walking through that door, but give me Davidson.
Bob McKillop is.
Yeah, he is.
Davidson.
Michigan State. I'll be the lone to go with Izzo in what could be one of his final years. We'll see what I'm curious about him.
I think a couple of these old veteran coaches might step away after this year.
We'll see.
We know the next game is
2:15. Duke, Cal State,
Duke.
Fullerton. Duke. Now to the East region. That was the full West region there. Let's go to the East. Baylor and Norfolk State 1 versus 16.
Champ, Baylor.
We're all
Sick
there.
'em.
8-9 North Carolina versus Marquette.
Hubert Davis 1-0.
Give me Marquette.
Ooh.
Memphis ties there. Cam Jones.
Shaka's there, right? Yeah.
Shaka's there, yeah.
I'm going North Carolina, though. I like what Hubert's done so far this year, even though people are very disappointed with him, I guess. St. Mary's versus the winner of Wyoming and Indiana in the 5-12.
St. Mary's, and it'll be over Indiana.
I'll take the Gales.
I'm going to take Wyoming over St. Mary's.
Whoa.
I'm taking Wyoming tonight and Wyoming to beat St. Mary's. 4-13 UCLA versus Akron.
The team of the 70s that almost got there last year, UCLA.
UCLA locked
Team
there.
of the 60s, too.
6 versus 11. Texas versus Virginia Tech.
Go Hokies.
Give me Tech.
Tech has been rocking and rolling, haven't they? Purdue versus Yale, 3 versus 14. Purdue's known to be knocked out in this situation.
Boilers.
Purdue.
But I can't say I wasn't tempted. Murray State versus San Fran, 7 versus 10.
8:40 on Thursday night. Dons win it.
Ooh, that's actually a good point. That's a good point. I'm going Murray State, though.
I'm going Murray State.
30-2. It's hard to argue there. And then Kentucky versus St. Peter's, 2 versus 15.
Big Blue.
Hey, look out for the Peacocks. I'm going to take Kentucky, though.
All right, so how do we want to handle this round 2?
Back to the top.
Let's go. Zags versus the winner of Memphis, Boise State. I'm going Zags.
Gonzaga.
Zags.
UConn versus Arkansas, unless you have Vermont.
Razorbacks.
UConn.
I'm going Razorbacks. I'm going Razorbacks into the Sweet 16. Bama versus Texas Tech.
Shots don't fall. Texas Tech.
T-Tech.
T-Tech. Michigan State versus Duke, or Davidson versus Duke.
Duke.
Davidson.
Oh, wow.
I'm going Duke.
They're my team this year.
What a way for it to end for Shesky in
Oh,
Greenville to Davidson.
And Krzyzewski won't.
That would be rough.
He won't schedule Davidson
Sure
in the regular season, so this is a big game for them.
That would be incredible.
That's not a crazy pick.
Baylor versus North Carolina
Champs.
or Marquette.
Baylor.
I'm going Baylor. Wyoming versus UCLA or St. Mary's or Indiana versus UCLA.
Mick Cronin and the Bruins.
Yeah.
So we all have UCLA. That's a lock there. Virginia Tech or Texas versus Purdue.
Matt Painter, Boilers. I picked him in the Final Four preseason. They're not getting there, but they get here.
Give me Purdue.
I'm going Kentucky.
And
Virginia
Tech.
Virginia Tech, yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
I look too far ahead.
Nice. So you have a 10 and 11 seed already in the Sweet 16.
I do.
Good for you. Murray State or San Fran versus Kentucky.
Hashtag BBN.
Yeah. I'm going with Big Blue Nation. I'm going Kentucky. Back to the top. We have Zags versus Arkansas or Zags versus UConn.
I have Gonzaga winning it all.
Zags.
So I'm right.
Zags. I'm rolling with Zags. Texas Tech, Duke.
Red Raiders.
Red Raiders.
Or
me.
Davidson.
Or Davidson.
I forgot.
Going Texas Tech.
Going Texas Tech.
Oh, trickeration there.
I got you. Baylor versus UCLA.
Baylor.
UCLA, guys. I'm going UCLA there. Love the
They
Guard.
played last year.
I like
No,
UCLA.
they didn't. No, they didn't play last year.
Didn't. That was
No, they didn't.
It was Zags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Purdue versus. Let's see. You have Virginia Tech though, so let
Yeah,
me go.
I do have
Purdue or
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech versus Kentucky.
Big Blue.
I'm going Purdue right here in the Elite Eight.
Kentucky.
So y'all are going Big Blue. So
Purdue doesn't have enough defense.
that means let's go through our Final Fours here of the West and East of the left side of the bracket. I have Zags, Texas Tech, UCLA, and Purdue.
I have Gonzaga, Texas Tech, Baylor, and Kentucky, and I will narrow it down to Gonzaga over Kentucky.
I have Zags, Texas Tech, Baylor, Kentucky, and I have Zags, Kentucky.
I have Zags, Purdue. I put Purdue into the Final Four. I have the Zags beating Purdue.
That'd be a first-time winner if Purdue gets all the way.
I look at Purdue's matchups on the way there. I don't mind them at all. I don't mind them.
There
And
aren't
Kentucky,
many prospects.
I like, but Kentucky is way too reliant on Oscar Tshiebwe for a lot of things, and I think Zach Edey and Travion Williams could do some things to make him a little bit uncomfortable.
For a first-time team to get to a Final Four, there aren't many real prospects. Tennessee's about the only one there, but for a first-time winner, Gonzaga, Texas Tech, all fit that.
Mm-hmm. So, Zags, Purdue,
I have Zags, Kentucky.
and you have Zags, Kentucky.
Zags, Kentucky with Zags
Everybody's
winning.
Zags.
Yeah.
Everybody's these Zags going forward. But we're going to have
hard
the
to pick
same.
against them.
I have a feeling we're going to have all the same national champion. We're no fun.
We're
no fun.
You win those brackets on the first 2 days because everybody's middle codifies.
Yes. And I am curious how many people have omitted the Zags in their Final Four. Probably very, very few.
Small percentage,
yes.
less than 1%.
Exactly. A very, very tiny. That'll do it for hour number one. Hour number two is going to be a busy one. Brent Beard will start it on college football and college basketball. Drew Hill at 4:30. He may be a little bit late because they do have some issues with the time of the presser today for Taylor Jenkins, but we will keep you updated on that. But he will be at 4:30. Coming up next, though, Brent Beard.
Coming this spring at Southland Casino, all bets are on. Visit the Mid-South's largest and newest casino complex. Southland's shiny brand new gaming experience features 2,400 slot machines, 50 table games, a sportsbook area, and 8 new restaurants and bars, all on our casino floor, which spans 2.5 football fields long. Starting in April, gaming in the Mid-South will never be the same at Southland Casino. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help, call 800-522-4700.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
The graphics are so real on this video game console I bought with the savings from switching to Progressive 10 years ago. I can't tell what's real and what's the game, which I think is what people want. You know, in the future, which it is currently.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
It's been said that the world always looks brighter from behind a smile. So why not let my friend, Dr. Mehdi Sadeghi, and his friendly staff at the Smile Center Memphis help brighten up your world. The Smile Center is a local family dentistry located in Germantown, specializing in cosmetic crown veneers, teeth whitening, and Invisalign clear braces, all with free consultation and second opinions. New patients are welcome, and if you don't have dental insurance, don't frown. They have an in-office plan to fit your specific needs. Same-day emergency service available as well. Give Mehdi a call, 309-1333, or visit their website at smilecentermemphis.com.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn.
Hour two, Brent Beard will join us in just a moment after I tell you about our good friends at the Big Green Egg. The Big Green Egg is just fantastic. I mean, you talk about ability being availability. We talk about that in sports. Your best ability is your availability, and the Big Green Egg takes that to another level. It could be the last grill you ever have to buy. It has a lifetime warranty on all of the ceramic parts. And notice I say ceramic. I don't say anything that could rust. When you talk about metal, when you talk about gas grills, they rust. Elements start to hit, rain starts to hit, they will start to deteriorate. Big Green Egg doesn't do that. Made with the highest quality ceramic. And also, it is 100% natural lump wood charcoal grill, so the flavor on it will be great as well. It comes in 7 different sizes. There really is a size and a price point for everyone. You can do a bunch of things on it. It
all 3 meals.
It does everything for you. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill. Barbecue. You could smoke some ribs. You could smoke a butt. You could make some burgers, some dogs on the back porch. You can do desserts. You can do pizzas. Literally anything that that you want. You can find it at a lot of places around the area: Garden Spas and Pool, Germantown Hardware, Hamilton's Fireplace and Grills, East Memphis Ace, and Cordova Ace Hardware. So if you're looking for a do-it-all, reliable, long-lasting grill at a great price point, look no further than the Big Green Egg. Let's go ahead and bring in our friend Brent Beard at Brent Beard on Twitter on some college football and some college basketball. Brent, how's it going?
Well, it's going well. It's a wet Tuesday here, but we have hoops tonight, or at least the beginning of it.
Sure do.
We're fine with that, and we've got spring practice opening up in a lot of places, too, for football. So that's good.
And the SEC basketball coaching carousel spinning around. Who do they think they are? Football? This has been something. And you're an eye of the storm with Mike White.
Was he was tired of waiting on Ole Miss maybe to see what they were going to do, or he had to make a move immediately?
It really was an odd situation in a lot of ways. Look, don't think for a minute that Gator fans weren't elated over that. And also, it's a Florida administration, I'm sure, a lot of money.
Nobody minded him leaving? I mean, there's no regret by any fan?
No.
Wow.
No, I don't. Look, this is basically what you heard. Mike is a nice guy, and when you hear that about any coach, that tells you probably what the overall feeling was. White was...
he's Ray Goff.
White is average at best.
Uh-huh.
It's frankly, he's a mediocre basketball coach. They were able to have... Now, look, do you think about this a minute? Georgia fans will probably rejoice at this.
They got a better coach than Tom Crean.
Every year, going into the last 2 weeks, they were always on the bubble, and they had to make some significant wins in order to get into the tournament. Some years they did that. Most years they really did not. So, and when they got in the tournament, they may be able to win a game, and then after that, that would be about it. So I think, and let me say this, from what we understand, he would not have been fired because they really didn't want to deal with the buyout, frankly, and especially with Mullen just leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But look, guys, I know it's a football school, but, I mean, they've proven that they will support a good basketball product, and frankly, with the resources they've got, there's no excuse for them not to to be able to have a good basketball team.
We know it can be done.
Right.
We do now. Now, Billy Donovan ain't coming. Okay.
No,
he ain't walking through that door.
No.
What about Spurrier, coach basketball? He was a good high school basketball player too.
Well,
even better baseball.
I think at this point, believe me, there's some Gator fans who would believe that.
What about Ron Zook?
Oh yeah. Now, I mean, we've heard Mac Mahan, Murray, Anthony Grant, Dayton,
they're going bigger
who
than
was
that.
in Alabama, who would be a mistake. Mike Rhodes of VCU, Rick Pitino, as you can imagine, has been mentioned too, as a possibility. So, but I'll tell you guys, besides the absolutely ridiculous and pathetic Tom Brady announcement, that could have waited until Monday instead of running in the middle of March Madness. At this point, that stunned a lot of people here. Now Georgia may put up a statue for him if he's able to get to into the NCAA tournament and have around 500 seasons. But that got a lot of attention here, to say the least.
Brent, I'm finally there. I'm right there with Brett at this point. You had last year 2 coaches get extensions that are no longer there at Florida.
Right.
At what point does this start to fall on Scott Strickland?
Never.
At what point does this become his problem?
Nice guy, back slapper, knows the big money well. Never, Brent, is my answer. Yours?
Well, I would kind of concur with
Nothing
that,
touches
too.
him.
And look, there, They're having success in other programs. That they're not in trouble with the NCAA.
Oh, yeah. We know all about the Directors' Cup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Indoor track and field, outdoor track and field.
Yay.
All that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, but, there are enough presidents that you can show them that, and they'll be happy about it. Fans know different.
They sure do.
At this point.
Great point, Brent. The fans know what floats the boat.
I'm sure they do. Absolutely. And look, right now, guys, now, look, I think Billy Napier is going to be very successful in football. But the reality is, of your big three for Florida right now, baseball is the best they've got.
Incredible. So what was it, the idea that he left, or that he left for cocktail party rival to Georgia? Which one was the most stunning to Gator partisans?
I think just that. I think they thought that he would leave eventually. I don't even think the Georgia stuff bothered them.
Because let's be honest, the cocktail party's
much.
all football. It's no basketball transference.
Yes, it's just the idea that he left, and I think it was the timing, Brett, more than where he went.
Yeah. So you mentioned some. I think B-listers. I think the Gators are going to go out there and aim high, whether they pull it off or not. Scott Drew has let it be known he's ready to talk. And when Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley in football let it be known they were ready to talk, well, people did more than talking. They did some paying.
They did. Absolutely.
What kind of money can the Gators offer? Can they throw around football-type money for basketball?
I think they very well could. Now, again, that's going to be an administration. Will they come off the wallet? That's a good question. But I believe seeing this opportunity right now that they would do that, because listen, this is a unique time in SEC basketball, guys. Because this is I'm not being facetious here, but we might be looking at one of the glory periods in SEC basketball right now compared to what we've seen in a while. And does Florida want to get involved with this? And right now, I'm going to say they do.
I also have this question about the media there in Gainesville and Florida and the fans in general, I guess, when you talk about social media. How tough is it really? I mean, you have two coaches, I think, in the past year, and Dan Mullen and Mike White, that were basically universally hated by a lot of those guys, and it didn't buy them any more time. It kicked them out just about immediately.
Well, I mean, Mullen brought a lot of that on himself.
Agreed.
Frankly, with his stubbornness and how he handled the quarterback situation. You never knew when you stuck a microphone. Brett knows this well. When you stuck a microphone in front of Mullen, what he would say.
That's when it gets radioactive.
Yeah, that's right. And that's when, and look, many Gator fans would tell me that in church, in the gym, and in the grocery store, or at Jason's Deli, that he would, that they liked him. They thought he was a pretty good coach. They didn't know what to expect from him. They really liked Napier at this point. So I think, and again, Gabe, timing is everything in this league, and it was a good time for him to go, and it's a good time for them to get a big name.
If he will leave, doesn't South Carolina seem like more of a fit for Rick Pitino and for them fitting with him than Florida?
Possibly. I still think Pitino can really coach. I don't think that even at 69, I don't have any problem with that. Now, again...
Well, he's a spring chicken compared to Nick Saban.
Well, Saban may have a flatter stomach. I don't know, but...
Pitino can go buy one.
They both still got their hair. Yeah.
From his Celtics money.
Can he?
Yeah. Go get that machine where they take all the fat out. That's cheating. That doesn't even count for losing weight.
The lipo? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. But Rick Pitino with his Billy Donovan ties, it would be interesting to know if they've chatted back channel. Hey Billy, should I? What am I walking into? Is it worth it? And he knows the league. I think it would be great for the league to get Pitino back somewhere.
I think it would be too. I agree with that totally. Now look, whether you buy this or not, the Florida has gone to the nth degree to try and keep its program clean. So with the situations that Pitino's had in the past, we talked with some beat writers about this.
And he's had some situations.
Yep, brought up that point of would that keep Florida from hiring a guy like that? And they said he would certainly give them pause.
He ran a prostitution ring out of the athletics dorm.
Right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And now you look at in the SEC, we finally got rid of Will Wade. You finally got to see Will Wade
yes.
Leave. And that was a long time coming, and I think he knew he had to be looking over his
Mizzou
shoulder
open, State coming open.
Well, we've never seen at this time, or at least I don't remember it, Brett, you might, that we've had this many openings going on with this situation. So that's going to be fascinating. Yes. Well, Wade needed to go, should have been gone years ago. It just finally accumulated in front of him where they did not have a choice. I mean, unless, if Howland goes, and again, these are better jobs now than they used to be because the league in general has made a commitment to basketball.
It sure has.
Basketball is making a difference. Would it shock either one of you if we had one or if not two participants from the SEC in the Final Four? It wouldn't me.
Well, I think there better be one, or it's a big disappointment. And Brent, for Ben Howland at Mississippi State, by opening night next year, they're basically going to rebuild, transform the Humphrey Coliseum.
Yeah.
Opened in 77, 44 years old, but it's going to be like new for opening night next year.
Well, one of the greatest lines that I will never forget, now Gabe didn't meet him, but I know Brent did, Doug Layton, the Alabama color man for football, also did Alabama basketball. One of the greatest lines I've ever heard was, and Brent probably remembers this, Doug was doing a game in Starkville, and he said, "This is the only gym in the SEC where the wind is a factor."
and it was at times, and I can't imagine Doug night in, night out doing college basketball. The preparation level could not been at a very high degree, because even week to week in football, it gets a little dicey. Brent Beard with us. So Brent, those SEC teams in the tournament, who should make it to New Orleans to the Final Four?
I think Kentucky right now, when they are healthy, we always have this caveat, don't we? Is probably I'm going to say Kentucky or Tennessee or maybe both. Frankly, as well as they are playing, Tennessee should have been a 2, and Duke should have been a 3. A&M should have gone into the tournament. I get they straight losses. I do.
Has Auburn scared you off?
The way they were playing, though, at the end, boy, I tell you what, if A&M had gotten into the tournament, there had been a lot of people who would say we don't want anything to do with them right now.
Mm-hmm. But Auburn at this point has sort of scared you off?
Auburn, in their last 9, 5-4, they're kind of like football team. When they don't play at home, they're very vulnerable. Their defense has let them down as of late, and they're struggling somewhat from 3. Mm-hmm. But look, Auburn's very capable of making another deep run, Gabe. I think that's true. I think Arkansas is. I really like this Arkansas team. They may have cooled off a little bit,
except for running into Gonzaga.
Yeah, something to that effect. But I really do like where what the league's got, what they're capable of doing. Bama doesn't have the they don't have the maturity or the toughness to get far. They may beat either Rutgers or Notre Dame, and then they've got Texas Tech, and Alabama can't simulate Texas Tech's 40 minutes of defense because they don't like to play defense as part of the problem. But still for them to be in the dance 2 years in a row is an accomplishment for Nate Oates, and I think they will get much better on down the line.
Everyone seems to be catching on to Nate Oates, though. And I wonder here the next year or two what his seasons will look like with how reliant he is on the three ball and his lack of adjustments. I mean, just watching his team play basketball this year, and I don't think he likes this team as much as he did the team a year ago. But he doesn't make any adjustments. He just seems to run out there, and the plan offensively is to make shots.
Well, the thing they don't have, Gabe, is they really don't have a half-court game. In other words, when they go on they've had, in their last game against Vanderbilt, they've got a 15-point lead, and then in about 3 minutes, Vanderbilt has got that lead down to about 3. Because they had basically a 12-0 run, if they could have just hit some mid-range jumpers, it would have made a difference. Their guards can be great, and their guards can be awful. The guards can make mistakes. I don't mean that. Look, not a junior college, but a junior high school team doesn't make as far as in they have a very, as Tom Coughlin used to say with Jacksonville Jaguars, that they have a disregard for the football as far as keeping possession of it. So, but they've got a much better team coming in that he recruited real well. Mm-hmm. They'll be much better next year at the guard situation than they are now.
Brent, you grew up in the state of Alabama. 4 schools in the field of 68. Yes. Jacksonville State and Auburn will be a first-round game. We talked about Alabama, and there's Andy Kennedy at his alma mater at UAB. And with UAB in the tournament, naturally, and they would have with Alabama and Auburn, but the Alabama TV stations will cover it quite extensively.
Yes.
Basketball needs some exposure. It's not just spring football in the state of Alabama. Alabama's got a better basketball statewide heritage than most really recognize.
Well, as a matter of fact, Alabama next to Kentucky has more wins in the SEC tournament than anybody. So they did a lot of that under C.M. Newton and Wimp Sanderson, obviously, because beyond that, it hadn't been much except for Oates got there and the promise that he's got and the potential with that. UAB with Gene Bartow was tremendous in a lot of ways.
We bow at the mention of Gene Bartow in this town.
I'm sure. I don't doubt that at all.
The late, great Gene Bartow.
Yes. So, and to Brett's point, Gabe, that is very true. I mean, you would think that would not be a factor, but basketball fans in the state of Alabama, if you've got a good product, they will come out and they will support it. As a matter of fact, Alabama is building a new arena or going to starting in the next few months. So, like Brad said about some of the facilities a minute ago, that's when you knew in this league that the league was making a turn for the better in basketball. It's when they started either refurbish or build new arenas.
Auburn really kicked that off.
They did, absolutely.
And a truckload's been spent on BJCC there in
Sure.
downtown Birmingham. They host NCAA regionals next year, and UAB's got a good on-campus facility. So, and I saw Jacksonville State back in December. I'm not calling the upset, but they could make it uncomfortable on Auburn.
Sure, and those coaches know each other real well too. They used to compete against each other on another level, another division. So I would agree with that. But yes, it's a stellar year for the state of Alabama with the NCAA.
But it's even deeper than that. We've already talked about it earlier in this conversation. It's the SEC in general investing more in basketball and trying to be better. And you look at some of the coaches that have failed, guys. Some of the coaches that have failed in the SEC. You talk about Mike White, Tom Crean, Conzo Martin.
Kevin Stallings a few years ago at Auburn or at Vanderbilt.
These are guys that have had success elsewhere. So big success elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some big ones that swung and missed.
And I think Frank Martin at South Carolina
that's another.
found out that, and I still think he's a good.
Mike
basketball
Anderson's
coach.
a good coach. It didn't work out at Arkansas.
I thought Buzz should have absolutely got in this year, but he's had his struggles at A&M.
He has, but I think the good outweighs the bad there. They got off to an awful start, but they really got things together. Buzz can really coach, and I think they're turning a corner with A&M too, with these facilities and the money that they've got. But again, it is tremendous to see this league to be as good as they are right now, and it's going to be fascinating to see who they bring in as replacements for these guys.
As long as Buzz rocks the 3-piece suit and a sweat rag, I'm all in on Buzz.
Yeah.
Somebody said,
I'm telling you, he looks like he is about to mix the meanest cocktail
ever. Or and I can appreciate this because I just had a daughter that got married. That somebody on Twitter said the other day that Buzz looks like the
Gabe did.
I think that was me. He looks like he looks
dad
like
that's waiting on the daughter.
He's about to go cut the rug. Yeah, absolutely.
And split
that was me.
And split his draws when he does it.
Brent, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, guys. Enjoy talking hoops. Absolutely.
Enjoyed it. Brent Beard with us every Tuesday and with us year-round. We appreciate it so much. Jason's Deli and the catering that they're ready to do for 5 or 5,000, a variety of delicious choices for all three meals, breakfast, lunch, all-day meals for groups of 5 to 5,000, low delivery fees. Call any of these locations at Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Always can check them out online at jasonsdeli.com. Same day and last minute orders welcome. So many places don't want that. Oh no, they're calling it the last second. Jason's Deli, they thrive on it. They thrive on great food. I was at the one over by MUS today, packed. Felt like it was 2019 again. Party like it's 2019. Where's Prince with that song? All the great food, all the salads, the Mesa chicken salad, the chicken club salad, the nutty mixed up salad, my favorite, the taco salad, and then that salad bar with over 30 items to choose from, and you can prepare it however you would like. The catering, anytime, anywhere, plenty of organic food to choose from. All the sandwiches, you can have the build your own sandwich, invent it that way. You'll be delighted at Jason's Deli. Trans fat free, healthy, first franchise in the nation to be fat-free. And if you're in these locations at Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova, do like I did today, the complimentary free ice cream. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
So we have a slight schedule change. We're going to have Drew Hill around 4:40, but coming up next,
right side.
We did the left side of the bracket. We do the right side. We do the South region and the Midwest region. We come back on Sports 56, 98.5.
The all-new Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Brought to you by Action 24/7, James Gaddis Jewelers, and Acura of Memphis. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
I'm here with Kyle Storms from Big Green Egg. Kyle, I hear people all the time say how they love their Big Green Egg, but what makes a Big Green Egg so great?
Thanks, Stats. The fact that our grill is made out of the highest quality ceramic allows our customers to smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all while locking in the most amount of heat and flavor in their favorite foods.
What kind of fuel does the Big Green Egg use?
100% natural lumpwood charcoal. That's really where half our flavor comes from.
How many sizes does the Big Green Egg come in?
We have 7 different sizes and all different configurations ranging from metal stands, wood tables, and metal carts with a lifetime warranty. So we really do have a size and price point for everyone.
Where can someone go to see the entire lineup of Big Green Egg?
Garden Spas and Pool, Germantown Hardware, Hamilton's Fireplace and Grills, East Memphis Ace, and Cordova Ace Hardware.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Barks now offers you just about everything you need for your furry family member. Daycare, luxury boarding, award-winning grooming, veterinary checkups, diagnostic services including digital x-ray, fluoroscopy and ultrasound, complete dental service, vaccinations, preventative care for fleas, ticks, and heartworms, and just about any needed surgical treatment. And did I mention that we treat cats and all types of exotic pets? We are the newest member of the Barks family and the newest, most high-tech veterinary hospital in the Mid-South. Located directly across the street from Barks and Recreation, we are a full-service hospital with a fantastic, experienced staff. If you're having problems getting a timely appointment at your current vet's facility, we are here to serve you. Call us at 901-979-8888. Barks and Medication. Excellence in veterinary care.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn.
We welcome you back, and we will go down the right side of the bracket after I tell you about the commissary mentioned on Thursday. Great place to watch the game is at the new Collierville Commissary at Houston, Levy, and Poplar. We can take it outside. The weather's going to be nice. Or the original in Germantown. All the TVs will be on there. Memphis-style barbecue and ribs. Authentic Memphis-style great food. The slow way. If you're craving an easier way to order, they have it. Text commissary, 2 M's, 2 S's, to 33733. Start that feast. Start that party on Thursday with appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos, invented here in the early 80s at the Germantown Commissary. The smoked chicken wings. All that for appetizers. That could be an entree, but it's going to be a all-day process with the game and watching the NCAA tournament. Dig into the ribs or the shoulder, chopped or pulled, on a sandwich, on a plate, all the fixings, all the trimmings, so good. Bean, slaw, deviled eggs, bread as well. Don't forget the party pack, 6-pack, 8-pack, 12-pack, and save room for dessert. Banana pudding, best lemon icebox pie I've ever had anywhere. 901-754-5540, online at commissarybbq.com. In Collierville and Germantown, the great party areas, catering, tailgating, always time for the commissary. Either place, the new Collierville Commissary, Houston, Levy, and Poplar, or the original in Germantown. Top right, Arizona over the winner of Wright State or Bryant.
I'm going to go with Arizona.
All the way.
I'm going Arizona.
I got Arizona on
the South region.
in the finals.
The South region is unbelievably easy. It feels.
All right, Seton Hall or TCU.
TCU.
Give me TCU.
Seton Hall.
There you go.
Seton Hall for me. From the AAC, the Houston Cougars against Andy Kennedy. We just talked about AK and UAB.
We throwing the wrench. I'm going UAB.
UAB.
I've got Houston Sweet 16. Illinois, Chattanooga.
This is the trendy one for Chattanooga, but I'm going to go Illinois.
I'm going Illinois.
Illinois from the Big Ten. Colorado State against Michigan. Much reviled and criticized Michigan.
Going Michigan.
I bet you are. I'm going Colorado State.
Colorado State for me. I think it'll be pretty easy for Colorado State.
Right.
Tennessee and Longwood, UT.
Give me UT.
UT don't want to see those Lancers, but I'll still take Tennessee.
Ohio State against Loyola of Chicago. Is Loyola Chicago really surprising people anymore?
No, they're not. But it's different now. Drew Valentine, the head coach. I'm going to go Loyola Chicago. Although I think Ohio State is one of those sleeper teams that if they get out of round one, they could make some noise.
Right.
I'm also going to go Loyola Chicago.
All the way, Loyola. We all three. Villanova, Delaware.
Nova.
Same. Bottom right in the Midwest region to Chicago. They'll go from Fort Worth, Buffalo, Milwaukee, or Greenville, Kansas for me over the winner of Texas Southern, Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think we're all there.
Corpus Christi. San Diego State, Creighton.
Give me Creighton.
San Diego State.
Same for me, Bryant. San Diego State. Iowa, Richmond.
Iowa,
yeah, and Iowa becoming one of the really, really sexy picks.
They haven't been to the Sweet 16 in a long, long time.
Providence, South Dakota State. Remember when I was big on Providence? I still am. Providence over South Dakota State.
I want to take South Dakota State.
30 wins, South Dakota State.
I'm going to take Providence because I do respect my man Ed Cooley.
Give me the Jackrabbits. Haven't lost a game since December 15th. One of the best scoring teams in the country. Give me the Jackrabbits.
That's a great note. December 15th is a long time ago.
Long time.
LSU, Iowa State. LSU.
Iowa State.
I'm going to take LSU barely.
Boy, I'm the same way. I don't love that at all. Wisconsin, Colgate, Wisconsin. Boy, this would be a great football game. USC against the U. Give me the Trojans.
Well, I mean, the past few years, it's the underachieving football, the underachiever bowl.
Once upon a time, it's been great.
I'm going to go USC.
Boog. Give me USC.
Auburn and Jacksonville State.
This is the only 15-2 game that I see people actually trying to pick a 15. I'm not doing that.
Auburn.
Give me Auburn.
So we go back to the top of the bracket. I have Arizona over Houston. Gabe?
I have Arizona over Illinois.
I have Arizona over TCU.
I then go down to Tennessee over Villanova.
I have Nova over Tennessee.
Blood will be drawn there.
I have Tennessee over Nova. Yeah.
Okay. Kansas over Providence for me.
Kansas over Iowa for me.
Iowa over Kansas for me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
And Auburn over Wisconsin.
This is an interesting one for me, and it was tough. I'm going Wisconsin over Auburn, though.
I'm going Wisconsin over USC. The Trojans.
You had USC in the preseason in the Final Four.
I did.
You didn't stick to that, though, huh?
I did not.
I'm not staying all the way with mine in the preseason either. I had UCLA, Gonzaga, the Tigers, and Purdue in the preseason. So I stayed way away from that except for Gonzaga. Back to the top, I have Arizona over Tennessee.
I have Arizona over Villanova.
I have Zona over UT, just barely, though.
Bruce Pearl and Auburn over Bill Self in Kansas.
Give me Kansas over Great Garden, Wisconsin.
Give me Wisconsin over Iowa.
Do we
Big Ten matchup.
Yeah.
Is this because of the conversation we had about the Big Ten yesterday?
No,
You're
it's
riding
just
the Big Ten now?
it's just how it happened. I didn't like it when I saw it. I was really mad about it, actually.
I got you.
I then have Arizona defeating Auburn in the Saturday national semifinals.
I have Arizona over Kansas, the national semifinals.
And I have Zona over Wisconsin.
So here we go. My Final Four: Gonzaga, Kentucky, Arizona, Auburn. My semis, Gonzaga, or my finals rather, Gonzaga over Arizona, with Gonzaga finally getting their national title.
My Final Four: Gonzaga, Purdue, Arizona, Kansas. Again, I talked about Gonzaga over Purdue, so they're in my national championship. I have Arizona over Kansas. We have a repeat. I go Arizona over Gonzaga, though, 82-75.
I have the Zags, Kentucky, Arizona, and Wisconsin in my Final Four. I've got the Zags over Kentucky. I've got Arizona over Wisconsin. Give me the Zags all the way.
So I have Gonzaga winning the last night of the year 82-81. We need it for tiebreak. You have a final score, Brian.
Let's go. Let's go 76 to 70.
76-70.
76-70.
We're not anti-Gonzaga, are we?
No.
I'm
not at all.
I'm Gonzaga's biggest.
No, we would be if
biggest
it falls
supporter
against the Tigers.
Yeah.
But I'd be fine with Mark Few getting his.
100%.
We've been waiting for it for so long. I mean, at this point, you have to expect it one of these years. He's recruiting better, recruiting at a higher level. He's in this position every single year as basically the number 1 overall seed.
So my
People
final
write them into the Final Four and go backwards at this point.
My
He needs
Final
to
Four
get
would be
one.
Mark Few, John Calipari, Tommy Lloyd in the first year, and Bruce Pearl.
I'm going to be honest. I have Bill Self. I can deal with Bill Self. I can deal with Tommy Lloyd. I can deal with Mark Few in my Final Four. That Matt Painter pick in my Final Four does sort of rub me the wrong way. But I think this is his best team I've seen him with in a long, long time.
Yeah, and certainly has that player that can carry you to one and maybe be MOP of the tournament for Purdue.
He could. Jaden Ivey is that guy. That Arizona pick, though, it's so tough because that South region, with what they have around them, I just don't. I don't trust any of the higher seeds to be able to get through Arizona the way it broke out. Villanova is fine as a 2 seed. I love Jay Wright in a tournament setting, but I don't know if I trust that Villanova team all the way.
Did you love that Houston losing to UAB pick? Or
Yeah,
did you
I
just,
love it.
You
I
do?
like it. I really do like it. I don't know.
You think Houston's wobbly?
I don't think Houston's very good. They look good against the Tigers in that championship game, but the Tigers gave them a lot of the Tigers missed shots. The Tigers turned the ball over. I think they shot themselves in the foot. I'm not a big fan of Illinois this year. I thought Illinois was substantially better last year in guard play with Ayo Dosunmu.
And still disappointed.
And then Tennessee, I love what they did in the SEC tournament. That's the only team I think that really gives me a scare to really push Arizona in that South region.
Rick Barnes trying to get to his second Final Four, his first at Tennessee. As I said earlier, Tennessee's never been to a Final Four in the men's tournament. We know of the success for a long time of Coach Pat Summitt, the late great Pat Summitt. But for Rick Barnes, that if he got to a Final Four, how rough would it be on Tiger fans to have to watch that
and after
that serenade for a week and then to the semifinals on Saturday?
And after the way this year broke out, where that game canceled completely, all of the back and forth about how he didn't want to play the Tigers or reschedule it because of it would be negligent of him as a coach to reschedule that game. And it would be very tough for Tigers fans to see him get to that point.
It's never everyone with anything, no matter for good or for bad. But I do see, and as much as I know they want to recruit Memphis, Shelby County, and it's fine for Tennessee partisans to have contempt for Memphis basketball and contempt for Penny Hardaway. That goes with rivalries. But I see some out there contempt for Shelby County, for the people of. It's not everyone. Again, I know that, but I think Rick Barnes needs to send out the message. We got to go there and recruit the best player on the teams from Memphis.
Mm-hmm. The guy that I gave this thing over to, the guy that I trusted with his entire team, is from Memphis. You get a lot of, and Brett, I don't mean to cast aspersions in any way, shape, or form. You get that from a lot of SEC fans. You get that from Ole Miss fans as well about the city of Memphis. That's just sort of how it is. I had to deal
rivalry's
with it.
one thing.
I had to deal with it playing in Ole Miss. Some of the things said, and that's not everybody. I don't think Ole Miss's fan base by any stretch of the imagination is bad and mean. No. I've dealt with meaner. We've talked about UCF and Houston in that conversation. We were talking about AAC in Memphis, but that's sort of an SEC feel in a lot of ways. The regional SEC schools feel that way about the city of Memphis, not necessarily the team.
The very essence of it.
But
and that's wrong.
I agree 100%. Now let's go.
And terribly misguided. And when you're trying to go in there and get players, dumb on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Again, not everyone.
But again, I don't know if the players that are being recruited are attributing that type of thinking to the staff, to the university as a whole. I think a lot of people. I think the guys that are being recruited understand that those are just idiots that want to cast aspersion on the city of Memphis for whatever reason. I don't know how much trouble Rick Barnes or some of these schools in the SEC have. I don't know if they have much trouble coming into Memphis and recruiting. I don't think that's the issue.
I know, but some of it cuts a little deep.
If you have boosters, if you have guys like that, if you have people that move money, that push money behind the scenes, that are good friends with the coaches, that warp the coach's mind a certain way, yes, I could see where that would be an issue. But I don't think I don't see Rick Barnes and guys of his ilk doing that.
Now, Kennedy Chandler is one of those players. We said this during the break earlier today. I'll say it for public consumption. He could be one of those players that gets the Will Barton disease in the tournament. Don't be heaving up shots. Just play within yourself. You're going to be drafted.
And I think what we've noticed too with Tennessee is they are substantially better when Vescovy and Chandler share primary ball handling roles. When it's Kennedy Chandler by himself trying to run the show, it could go one of two ways.
A little loose.
And it's rarely right down the middle. It's either really good or really bad. And he has his moments offensively where he can't miss.
Big defining moment coming up in this tournament for Rick Barnes in his tenure at Tennessee.
Only one Sweet 16 appearance at Tennessee so far. And what he did in the SEC tournament's not going to keep people from giving him expectations this year. I think he's got to push past the Sweet 16 or get at least to the Sweet 16 this year to give UT fans a lot of hope and be happy with him. Now, let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we come back, we get to our good friend from the Daily Memphian, Drew Hill.
You have opinions?
What do you hear? What do you say?
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I'm with John Burgos in the alley at the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see you. How are things at the restaurant?
Thank you, Brett. We are here and we're making it. I have to say a big thank you to all of our customers that ordered food during the curbside days, bought gift certificate when times were slow, ordered food to be shipped from our shipping kitchen, and then came back down to eat when our doors reopened. We owe a debt to the Memphis and surrounding community for supporting us when we need it. I hope y'all all come eat some barbecue with us, but I also hope you'll support our local restaurants. And if your service is a little slow or an item isn't on the menu that you enjoy, cut them a little slack. Hopefully it'll be there soon.
Thank you, John. We appreciate you for feeding all of us, and we will take that advice to heart.
Brett, we also have a new twist at the Rendezvous. We now have outdoor dining. It's in the side alley along the Rendezvous, not the one in the front. And depending on the weather and depending on staffing, please call ahead to make sure we're open. And we hope it becomes a mainstay here at the Rendezvous.
Mr. Charlie Burgos' world-famous Rendezvous in the alley in downtown Memphis.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn.
Grizzlies at Pacers tonight. And it looks like Ja Morant, as far as the injury report is concerned, just got Dylan Brooks back. Dylan Brooks played his first game over the weekend. Ja Morant looks like he all but out. Doubtful with some back soreness. We bring on Drew Hill from the Daily Memphian to talk about that a little bit more. At @DrewHill_DM on Twitter. Drew, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I know you just got out of Taylor Jenkins' availability. What was the word on Ja and his back?
Not a serious injury. I guess it stems from his fall in Minnesota that he had, but not serious. There was a little bit of confusion on my part at shoot around today. I know I tweeted out that he did not participate. Turns out he did participate, but it was very confusing because by the time we got out there, he was already in sweat, done. He was just seated on the bench watching everybody else kind of shoot around. But I guess he did participate, which is a good sign. He is going to do pregame warm-ups, which is a good sign. I think this is probably more of a rest thing than anything. I mean, if the Grizzlies did not list him as rest, then they can't really sit him out for rest. To be fair, but it's a good game to let him get a quick little breather because the last 10 games of the regular season are really tough.
Yeah, and the 6 before that big Monday night, March 28th game against Golden State that will settle a lot for the 2 seed. 3 on the road, 3 at home. Indiana, Atlanta, Houston, the next 3 on the road, and then 3 at home. Brooklyn, Indiana, and Milwaukee before that game against Golden State. And it's coming down to March 28th. Circle that one on a Monday night. Quite possibly biggest regular season home game in Grizzlies history.
We were talking about it maybe being the last game against Golden State. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. when that week went by, we were talking about what a big week it was going to be for the Grizzlies. They're playing on national TV twice. They had that game against Golden State. I don't know about history. I don't know if I've been around long enough to declare the biggest regular season Grizzlies game in history, but certainly the biggest one I can remember since getting to town 3 years ago. So, yeah, there's no doubt that will be a massive game for the standings.
Stakes are large that night. I think it might be. Drew, I've always said the most important game regular season in the history of the Memphis Grizzlies was the home opener to start it all, 2001 at the Pyramid. But that was because finally Memphis was in the major leagues. We'd had professional teams, but we'd never been in the major leagues. This one is to really to stake your claim to maybe go for it all, or to maybe for sure be in a Western Conference Finals. I think it will be, but got 6 games to take care of before that.
Yeah, these next 3 are huge. These next 3 are very, very important because, as I mentioned, the last 10 is really tough. The last 10, 6 of them are against teams currently in the playoff picture. 2 of them are against teams that are in the play-in picture, one of them being the Brooklyn Nets, who we all know are better than a play-in team. So really, really tough schedule. The narrative or the story has really flipped. At the All-Star break, we were all talking about what an easy schedule the Grizzlies had compared to the Warriors. Now that has since changed. The Warriors have the easier schedule of the 2 teams the rest of the way, and we know that they're even in the standings. So that is definitely going to be a massive, massive game. But you got to get these next 3. These next 3 are hugely important.
And the hope was that they'd gain at least a game on the Warriors before that game came around, or a couple games, so they'd be able to stave them off. But the Warriors, watching them last night against the Wizards, Drew, and Draymond's return, he unlocked something with that team that I don't think people realize until he's out.
Yeah, they're a much, much better team with Draymond Green, obviously. I still think the Grizzlies are plenty capable of beating them in a 7-game series. I know that they would be underdogs in that series. That's pretty obvious. But the Grizzlies have had their number this season. They beat them at full strength already in Golden State this season. And they've played really well against really good teams. So I don't see why that couldn't happen. Obviously, it's a tougher challenge when Draymond is available. But I still think that the Grizzlies could win that series.
Who are the potential matchups in the Western Conference that you think in a playoff series the Grizzlies would want to avoid at all costs?
Well, Dallas is an interesting matchup just because of the way that they play. I don't know if that really meshes well with the way that the Grizzlies want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So Dallas, I think, is definitely up there. Denver, it depends on the Jamal Murray situation, which we don't really know. They're now saying it's 50-50 that he comes back. If they have healthy Jamal Murray and he looks somewhat like Jamal Murray, that's a really challenging series. But I still think maybe it's a better matchup for the Grizzlies than Dallas. I would probably say Dallas right now is the team that you don't want to see in the first round. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. Dallas is going to be hard to catch when they're playing this way.
That last night was something to watch. Jokic go against Embiid. That was gladiator basketball.
That game was awesome. Yeah, I caught the whole second half.
I did too.
That game. They went right back and forth, right at each other. That had MVP implications as well. I don't think Jokic is going to win the MVP, but he looks like he could win the MVP. It's just kind of hard to give it to the same guy again, I think, in this scenario. But, yeah, I mean, he's impressive. The thing is the Grizzlies have size to match up with him. If it ends up being the Nuggets and the Warriors, that's a really interesting matchup for Golden State because they don't really have the size and presence inside the way that other teams do to have to deal with Jokic. So I actually think that if Denver gets matched up with Golden State in the first round, that could be pretty bad news for the Warriors.
And then later we had to see Cat drop 60, and he was ridiculous. He had, 56 after 3 last night?
Kind of an easy 60.
Hey, he's the type of guy that can do it, though. I mean, he can shoot lights out, and he can score from everywhere on the floor. What do you think about that matchup? Timberwolves, Grizzlies. I know the Grizzlies have had sort of this back and forth with them this year so far.
I still like where the Grizzlies would stand in that matchup. I'd rather play the Clippers, honestly,
right.
if I'm the Grizzlies out of the two. I just think that you have to look at who's going to have the ball at the end of games, right? And I'll take Ja against anybody, that the Timberwolves have to this point. And D'Angelo Russell is a fine player. He's a good player at times. He's played great against the Grizzlies, but do you really trust that he's going to be great in 7 games against the Grizzlies?
Over 2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I believe in that. So to me, I think that the Grizzlies would definitely have the upper hand against Minnesota. And I think that I'm kind of in the minority here, but I don't really worry about Minnesota so much as any of the other matchups that they may end up getting.
Mm-hmm. We're going to let you get back to it. You got to tell me, though, real quick, what do you think your Tide are going to do? What's Bama going to do in the tournament? They going to make any noise?
I have no faith. I've got no faith. I think they're going to get bounced in the first round. They've been so bad. Listen, don't even get me started on this. They have been so bad since Memphis.
Their good is great, but their bad is awful.
But their good hasn't been around for about 2 months. So I mean, they beat Arkansas by 1 point, and that I guess was like their biggest win of the SEC schedule, and that was like the one game Arkansas lost in a 15-game stretch. Outside of that, nothing that they've done has been impressive. They just blew a 15-point lead to Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
They look atrocious going into the NCAA tournament. I would not be surprised if they're bounced in the first round.
They scare the hell out of me either way. If I don't pick them going a long way, they're going to go a long way. If I do pick them to go a long way, they'll get knocked out first round.
All right, guys. I'll see you.
All right, man.
Thank you, Drew.
All right, Drew.
We appreciate it.
Man. That Drew Hill _DM from the Daily Memphis. You can follow all of his work at Daily Memphis.
None of us let Bama wreck our bracket. Nobody.
No, I'll give them 1 game. That's all I did.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, if they get me there, it's not too bloody. Telling you, though, to win a bracket contest, you win it on these first 2 days. You win it with these outside teams because everybody, when it gets to that middle,
So what happened?
it's Arizona, Gonzaga, Kentucky, Baylor, Kansas. It's all the same names.
So if I pick Wyoming over St. Mary's like I did in my bracket, what if Indiana goes in and ends up beating St. Mary's? Do I get that?
No.
It's a loss.
It's not the track.
It's an L.
It's not 1 in 1A.
I picked the 12 seed, though, right?
Sorry, Gabe.
We adjudicated this last year. The answer is no.
I thought you adjudicated it in the guilty person's favor.
This year, the answer is no.
We're getting ahead of it.
Yeah,
We're not.
I even texted the fine print last night to y'all.
Yeah, I have it if you want to see it, Gabe.
I got the fine print. Too. I got it. I just had to mess with them. Let's go ahead and get to our final break of hour number 2. Short half hour of hour number 3. We're going to have Ole Miss baseball pregame at 5:30, first pitch at 6. But coming up on the other side, we have Beau Marchant, and then we get to Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Bellyacre's motto is City-Fied Farm Fresh. The goal is simple: provide a fun, unique farm-to-table experience for the whole family. 2 great locations, Regalia at 6130 Poplar and in Overton Square at 2102 Trimble Place. Overton Square hours Sunday through Thursday, 11A to 9P. Friday and Saturday, 11A to 10P. Regalia, Sunday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Signature burgers are made from 100% grass-fed beef. Sandwiches, salads, and the best milkshakes anywhere. The burgers, so good, like the Daria or the Double Daria, and the melt in your mouth. And you have to try the Voodoo Moo Moo. It is the quality brand the Bellyacres team has developed using grass-fed beef with creative homemade toppings in a fun farm setting right here in the city. The goal at Bellyacres, to become even more sustainable as they grow. In Overton Square and in Regalia, the very best quality available in Memphis, burger shakes and smiles at Bellyacres.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Are you ready for the Gossett Mitsubishi Spring Sales Event? It's on at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Need 41 MPG Highway with gas prices that keep soaring? We got you covered in 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. $189 a month or $14,999. 5 seats, 27 MPG combined. 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. $299 a month or $23,037. Plus, redesigned 2022 Outlander with 7-passenger seating and 27 MPG combined. $359 a month or $26,998. And get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett got it at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months, 500 military rebate, G4, NHF 03943, MSRP 16985, Sport, NU 006-786, MSRP 25407, Outlander NZO 6388, MSRP 292, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG,
high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn.
Bo Marchant on the NFL. We're out a little early for Ole Miss baseball in Hammond against Southeast Louisiana. Look, tonight it starts. Brett Norsworthy here for FanDuel, and start your bracket with a bang right now. FanDuel Sportsbook giving new customers a $150 instant bonus guaranteed. That's right. You'll get $150 in bonus site credit. All you have to do is place your first bet of $5 more. How you bet your bracket? Well, that's up to you. You can choose from the money line, totals, prop bets, so much more. Plus, with cash out, the ball's in your court. You can close out your bet whenever you want before the game is over. We went through our picks. I like Hubert Davis to get that first NCAA tournament win for Carolina Blue. Carolina laying the 3.5 over Marquette. Join FanDuel today with promo code CASH. Then you can place your $5 bet to score $150 in bonus site credit. That's a guarantee. That's promo code CASH on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. This hour of our show brought to you every day by DeSoto Auto Sales down on Goodman Road at 5704 Goodman Road. They are very proud to serve DeSoto County and our entire area. 662-890-7184. Online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. All the cars test driven, all checked out thoroughly. Unlimited inventory, every make, every model. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. You walk in and you're treated like family by kind, courteous employees, laid-back atmosphere, no high-pressure sales, down-home environment. But they care about your time and they want you to enjoy the ultimate car experience. They know we live in a hectic world. Time really matters. That's why you find the car you want, settle in with your sales rep, credit approved, paperwork completed, all in 45 minutes or less. It's a guarantee. It's that simple at DeSoto Auto Sales, that ultimate car experience on Goodman Road. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto County, to DeSoto Auto Sales for that town and country experience.
He is Bo Marchant from collegetopro.com. Also covers the Pittsburgh Steelers relatively close at Bo Marchant on Twitter. Bo, I have to start one place.
New quarterback in Pittsburgh.
Mitch Trubisky, huh? That's what happened.
Mitch Mitchell, our old buddy, Bo.
That transpired this week.
That did transpire. Hey, he was a Pro Bowler in 2018, so
frightening.
Yeah, listen. I asked Kevin Colbert down at the Combine if he wanted to go out with that Ozzie Newsome type splash, where this is Colbert's last draft for the Steelers. Ozzie Newsome's last draft. The Ravens moved back into the 32nd pick into the first round and took Lamar Jackson. He kind of, didn't say much in terms of that thing, but I don't believe that this is the way he's going to want to leave this franchise as he exited in his last draft. So I don't know if this means they're going to take a quarterback for sure, but it's exactly, I don't think, the place where he'd feel comfortable saying, once I leave this franchise and I'm no longer affiliated with it, I'm going to leave the hands in the Mitchell Trubisky. So with that said, I still think there's a lot of draft night work to do for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
As soon as I saw that news, it sort of felt like a situation. You correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't feel this way. It felt like he's probably the guy who may start as the starter this year, but I don't know if he'll end up being the starter, depending on if they go get a draft pick, go try to draft somebody high in the first round.
Yeah, I think and I think it was evident when we saw the contract come up. It wasn't big money. Not that I think Mitchell Trubisky was going to, break the bank on a team, but yeah, that money indicates that he's going to be that bridge, that gap guy between, whatever the next guy that the Steelers kind of want to be, that franchise guy. Yeah, and it is what
not if
it
Mason
is.
Rudolph has something to say about it.
Yeah,
He won't.
I've seen him play. I mean, I think he's 5-4-1 as a starter. It's just not there. In the Detroit game where they tied the game, I mean, you have to win that game. And I think you guys know. You guys have watched much sports. I mean, I always say, listen, if you're at the playground and you see, if you see Kobe Bryant on the playground, it's easy to identify the best guy on the field. You don't need to be a scout. You don't need to be some expert. You just know, hey, this guy. You never got that sense with Mason Rudolph when he was in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He never gave you the sense that, hey, this, and even when Duck came in to replace him, he brought a little bit of a pulse. A little bit of excitement. There was juice. Mason just, great career at Oklahoma State.
So
but
true.
It's just kind of really never materialized in Pittsburgh.
So true, Bo. Here in this front office for the Memphis Grizzlies, they've done a lot of great things. But the credit they get for Ja Morant, 29 teams are taking Ja Morant in that second pick.
You're right. I mean, listen, it is what it is, But at the end of the day, draft day, the Steelers, I don't know if they take a guy and move back into the first round, but I'm reluctant to think that Colbert doesn't make some sort of big move, a splash move, if you will, to kind of at least try to send this franchise in the right direction.
How much hands on the draft does Mike Tomlin have? Does he sit down and go, "Hey, this is what I want. This is what I need. Give me the Parcells line. Give me the groceries."
No, you know what? I think they have a good working relationship. I think it's a committee decision. They share things. I think everything goes through Mr. Rooney. I remember last year down at a media session, I said, when you guys are about to make a call or a decision, and Tomlin piped up and said, well, Mr. Rooney makes those decisions. Of course, they have their influx, but I mean, this is, Rooney doesn't, step aside, he doesn't, take over the draft or anything like that. But,
not Jerry Jones.
Tomlin, yeah, exactly. I mean, but Colbert and Tomlin have a very, very easy working relationship. They're in parallel with each other. They bounce things off each other. It's not uncommon for them to go to pro days together, and you'll see them down at the Senior Bowl, watching practice together, taking notes, kind of probably sharing their thoughts on, hey, you think this guy is going to work, and listen, and Parcells buys the groceries. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do all the buying, but tell me what you like, and I'll try to accommodate you. If you don't like salmon, I'm not going to buy salmon. You know what? I'll buy tuna. But we're going to kind of stick to the same point. But at the end of the day, listen to this. Even with Trubisky, I think they're better off than what the current quarterback situation is. I know they offered a tender offer to bring Dwayne Haskins. He still never played a snap,
right,
for them in Meaning League football. So kind of just let's just not even talk about that. There's still people out there that kind of think, hey, Dwayne Haskins has a shot to lead the Steelers. It's not going to happen, folks. And I think just another step of Dwayne Haskins remaining in that third quarterback role.
Bo, around town in the community, are the Rooney family, are they the first family of Pittsburgh, not just sports, of Pittsburgh?
You know what? I don't.
Of Western PA.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, from my point of view, I would say so. But then again, I'm not there every day. I mean, this is the one thing I have to say about just PA or just, Western Pennsylvania. Or I know it's a fun place to be because there's still small towns. There's small, I remember leaving
Middle America.
Yeah, last time I left the Steelers facility when we had the Colbert meeting, there's a park that I run to, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take this shortcut, or I'm gonna tell Waze tell me how to get there. They took me on the back roads, and it's typical PA. You go around one bend, and you're past a mall, and then you're 2 miles down, and you're at a mom and pop's diner. And in a little downtown with mom and pop type stores, and that's just littered throughout PA. And I don't know if that means the Rooneys are the first people of PA, but nonetheless, I think they have an impact on the community. I know that they're they're the Rooneys, they're the Steelers. I mean, they are the pulse of Pittsburgh sports. I remember some people in the Steelers organization, I don't want to say who, but media people. They took a very, very disliking to some other radio folks who were saying the Penguins were now the king of Pittsburgh sports. And when I say that, I was there. I witnessed it, and it was not pretty, and it was out in your face. I'm telling you, it was angry. But nonetheless, Pittsburgh Steelers is the pride and joy of that Steel City.
Talking with Bo Marchand from collegepro.com. Looks like Deshaun Watson has sort of cleared his criminal hurdle, so he might, it looks like, by all accounts, he'll probably play this year. There's some teams that he could waive his no-trade clause for: Panthers, Saints, Niners, Falcons. I think the Texans.
And our system has ruled. Our system has decreed. The man should go on and play.
I think the Texans denied the Colts because they don't want him in the division. I understand that.
Maybe even in AFC.
What makes most sense to you for a possible landing spot for Deshaun Watson?
I think when you mentioned the 49ers, I just think to a team that was, almost a game away from the Super Bowl, was there a couple of years ago in the big game. If I was Deshaun Watson, I would look at the team itself, not so much how much do I have to put on my own back, how much, it's taken off my shoulders to help me win. And, I look at a good team. So I immediately would look at the 49ers. I mean, Atlanta's kind of, that rebuilding team. The Saints, I think, in the same mold. Carolina.
Deshaun Watson with Arthur Smith.
Saints still have that defense about them, though. Saints still have a decent defense. I know they're in sort of cap hell right now, but they have a decent defense. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas seemingly coming out of injury, although we haven't seen him in a year and a half.
Yeah, and you know what it is? I would be more inclined if Sean Payton was still there. And I love Dennis Allen. I'm so glad he got that job. It kind of would always blow my mind when they were talking about all these candidates, being named. And Dennis Allen was never mentioned for any coaching opportunities. And lo and behold, it's just the Saints. I don't think if Sean Payton would have retired, that Dennis Allen would have got a sniff anywhere else. So, but if I just look at that offense and the magic of Sean Payton, I mean, he's a magician at being able to, X's and O's, putting guys in the right place. I don't know if that's going to be the same. Like Michael Thomas. Everyone says, Michael Thomas is coming back. That Saints offense, when they're at their peak, Michael Thomas is getting, you're talking 160 targets a day or a year. How many targets, the offense ran through him. So I don't know if that's going to be the same scenario in New Orleans. I just think immediately when I hear those teams, I just think who's the biggest winner right now, who's in the best position. And I would say, Deshaun Watson. I think if Deshaun Watson was in that game last year against the Rams, is there a different outcome? I don't know. But I guarantee
got a good feeling.
We would have been a lot more inclined to think that the 49ers were going to beat those Los Angeles Rams if Deshaun Watson was the quarterback rather than Garoppolo. So
you mentioned Sean Payton. He's going to sit out this year, float around in TV, media, keep his finger on the pulse of the NFL. He's the NFL lifer. He's got a Super Bowl. Where's he coaching 2023? Opening day 2023. Where's Sean Payton?
I think we're all in on this one. I think he's coaching the Dallas Cowboys. So,
are we all in on it?
I am. I'm in on him coaching the Cowboys. You know what it is? I don't know if the Cowboys are going to be able to get out of their way this year. And we know it's Super Bowl and bust in Dallas. It's not make the playoffs. Jerry put the money in this game, so I'm still with the Cowboys.
What about Green Bay?
No, I wouldn't go there.
Come up a little short again for LaFleur? They're not firing Aaron Rodgers.
No,
not after that money.
But I even think Green Bay expectations is, it's hard to do what they've even done. You got to expect a step back, and I hate saying that, but it's hard to win. It's hard to reach those pinnacle championship games.
Ask the Atlanta Braves from baseball. Gravity takes over. Sir Isaac Newton's right eventually.
It does happen. I just. When Jason Garrett left the Cowboys, there's a new sense that, hey, McCarthy could come in. He had the same hiatus as Peyton. You think, they'd come in and change the game. It didn't happen for Dallas. They fell short of the goal, but that happens for 31 teams every season. Expectations inside a locker room resonate the same. We wouldn't have said this. I don't think none of us said at the beginning of the season that, the Cincinnati Bengals had the same goal as the Los Angeles Rams when the season started.
Good point.
We didn't believe it, but they believed it.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I think this looks like the Sean Payton from the get go. McCarthy is on shaky ground, And, if they start out slow or something, I wouldn't even expect – you could say even happen during the season next year. If the Cowboys start out struggling, I think Jerry Jones is so at the panic point of, listen, this is the core. We gave all the money to Dak. We're paying Zeke too much. We had to get rid of Cooper because we overpaid. We're in this. We lost Randy Gregory today. It's kind of like
what have you thought of all these sort of moves that have been happening though? It seems like they're not actively getting better or trying to get better. It seems like it's more of money consolidation what they've done so far.
Oh, you're exactly right, and that's the scary thing, and that's where I think I don't want to say the Cowboys peaked. I don't want to say that, but you have to think that there is that little window where you say, okay, this is our best chance. I think last year, I don't think if the Cowboys you say, well, we got better because we lost Randy Gregory today. He was one of their best defensive players. You can't say they're better because they don't have Amari Cooper anymore. So those are two key components on each side of the ball that they don't have. So that's where I say that peak window, I think it closed a little bit. So Mike McCarthy, I think, is going in with lesser to work with next year. How's he going to get better?
Right.
When everybody else is. So, it's a season. You don't know. Dak was coming off the injury, though he played well. That offense was just not in sync like it was, the year that Dak got hurt. That offense was just scoring at will. The line is older. I think that's where it starts.
Yep.
Each week, line's never together.
Borderline mess.
It is. It's an older line.
They love talking about that Zeke Elliott contract, and I understand that Zeke Elliott contract, but Tyron Smith, he was great, and he still is when he's on the field. But that contract looks unreal right now. He hadn't been on the field the past 3 years.
Yeah, and he's been banged up. And was it Travis Frederickson?
He retired.
He left. Yeah, he retired. You don't get guys. So you got Smith in his, I'm not going to say his prime, but he came there late. But no, he's doing his thing. That line was so dominant. I could have probably got 100 yards. And this is not. I love Zeke Elliott. He was my favorite running back in the league. He's that big old school type running back. He's physical.
Feed him.
I love that old type. Yeah, feed him. He's not this little, scat back, catching 100 passes. I know it reminds me of the Riggins. It reminds me of the Gerald Riggs and the George Rogers, the Otis Andersons, the William Andrews, all those big body backs, the Chuck Muncie.
With a big old neck roll.
Yeah, that's what I love. So I want to see Zeke doing his thing. I like that. It brings me back to my youth. So, at the end of the day, I think the first thing, and we never talk about it, I'm glad we did bring it up tonight, is that O-line for the Cowboys. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, free agency and the draft, to forget about anything else, you know what? You got to get that line resurrected, get it back to what it was. Because if that line's not going to go, the ground game's not going to go. You can't protect Dak. He can't throw. And you're going to kind of see the reminiscence of it this past season where that offense was so stagnant. How many weeks did we wait to think, hey, this is their week. This is their week. Lo and behold, it wasn't. And They would just continue to do that. So they have a lot of work to cut out for them. So that's a long story short. That's why I think this is Sean Payton's job in the near future.
Bringing up all these names. Where's Christian Okoye? Where's Mike Allstott?
Golly.
Tom Rathman. Somebody
Larry
just
Zonka.
knock a wall down.
Come on. Golly. All right, Bo.
Hey,
You have a
Bo,
good one, man.
enjoy the basketball. We'll talk next week.
Hey, stay safe, gentlemen. Much love.
You got it. Bo Marchant with us from College Pro Talking the NFL. At Belly Acres, the motto is City-Fied Farm Fresh. The goal is simple. It's been attained as well. Provide a fun, unique farm-to-table experience for the entire family, and that they have done. 2 great locations now, a 3rd great location coming soon. Really soon, late spring, early summer to Silo Square in South Haven. Now at Regalia at 6130 Poplar and in Overton Square at 2102 Trimble Place. Family setting, place to watch all the games any time of day. They have sports on constantly. Also, good signature burgers made from 100% grass-fed beef, sandwiches, salads, all fresh, and the best milkshakes anywhere. Enjoy that with some March Madness. The burgers like the Dare You, the Double Dare You, the Melt in Your Mouth, and you must try the Voodoo Moo Moo. It is the quality brand that the Belly Acres team, they developed using grass-fed beef with creative homemade toppings in a fun farm setting right here in the city. Silo Square in South Haven coming late spring and early summer, now in Overton Square and in Regalia. Their goal, to become even more sustainable as they grow. The very best quality available in Memphis is at Belly Acres. Burgers, shakes, and smiles every day, all day at Belly Acres.
Let's go ahead and get to crunch time.
it. It is crunch time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye. Hello, Haskins. It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Brett, what I learned today, a couple of former teammates of mine have signed contracts with free agency.
Well earned.
Upon us. Arthur Millette with the Steelers for 2 years, and he's a guy.
You're proud of that, too.
I am, and he's a buddy for a long time, and I feel like he's not really noticed by a lot of Tiger fans in a lot of ways. I know the diehards know about Arthur. Obviously, he was part of the 2015
You got to get your hand on the football to get credit.
He was the guy who in 2016 had the game-sealing interception against Ole Miss, if you'll remember. Picked off Chad Kelly to end the game, slid down, made the right play. That was Arthur Millette. Also, Bobby McCain stays with the Commanders.
I love him.
2 years, $11 million for him. He's entering year 8. He is.
That's going to be good retirement pension money. He's really making it. I learned 36 of the 68 teams in this year's NCAA tournament, they've been to a Final Four. And the most likely team to make their first Final Four run, I think probably will be Tennessee. Anything shy of the Sweet 16 will be a total failure for Rick Barnes. Anything shy of the Elite 8 will be disappointing, but shy of the Sweet 16, it'll be another disaster for Rick Barnes.
Mm-hmm. What I could have done without is the Fernando Tatis broken wrist story. This is amazing to me because I know they were in a lockout. He couldn't really talk to the team officials about what happened, but apparently he got in a motorcycle wreck. And when they agreed, when all these things went out, when the MLB and the MLBPA actually agreed on the CBA and they were going to move forward, he didn't call anybody from the Padres, just showed up to spring training.
Oh, by the way,
with a cast on his wrist.
What
and they
happened
asked
here?
him what happened. He said motorcycle accident. Yeah. I mean,
wonder if that's in violation of any contractual terms.
Absolutely. Yeah. The bonuses are probably waived, that type of thing, but that's just goofy to me. When they maybe don't talk to him during the lockout.
Did he go over the handlebars?
I certainly hope not. But as soon as the lockout's over, tell them.
No, I had a grandmother. It was adamant. No motorcycles. Well, you can't get near one.
They scare me. I'm not into them. They scare the hell out of me.
She lost a brother a long time ago from it. It just wasn't allowed.
Also, by the way, Mike Tyson, you know he has a weed company, right? You know he has
doesn't everybody? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know that I did.
But he has a weed company, and he released these edible weed bites.
No.
And they're shaped.
No.
They're shaped. They're called Mike bites. They're shaped as ears with a bite taken out of them.
Oh wow!
Evander Holyfield.
Does he get a piece of this?
He needs to. He needs to call him up and say, "Hey, man, that's my likeness you're using."
He paid
the price.
He paid the price. I could have done without. Here comes Golden State. Draymond Green back. Klay Thompson fully functioning, and Steph Curry going off for 47 last night. The battle for the two, it's on. It's never easy, and we know March 28th will be a big one.
Mm-hmm. What we're watching tonight, first four. A&M Corpus Christi. You like them tonight, huh?
I do. I like Corpus Christi.
Over Texas Southern, Indiana, Wyoming. I like Wyoming over Indiana tonight.
I want great action. I'm looking forward to the NBA games tonight, too. But the first of the two biggest nights of the year for the city of Dayton, OHIO, it's on. Wyoming, IU fans happy over being in the play-in game. I guess goals can change.
I know it's the biggest time for Dayton. All those Ohio cities blend into me.
Don't
Toledo, Dayton, Cincinnati, Akron. They all look the same. I mean, really.
Canton.
I can't tell the difference these days. I really can't.
They love sports, though. Grizzlies in Indianapolis tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Yeah, that's where the Pacers play. Two old ABA cities going at it.
It's called the what?
Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
It used to be. A couple of years ago, it was different.
It was Conseco Fieldhouse forever. And then Bankers Trust.
That's right. That's what I know.
And a big crew from Memphis went up on a site visit to Canseco, I mean, literally people I didn't even know in the media got invited to go on that trip, but I didn't.
Now, keep also an eye on.
But I'm not bitter.
Don't sound it at all.
Not at all.
Keep an eye on NFL
Every
free
slappy
agency.
you can think of got to go on that trip but me.
You got to keep an eye on NFL free agency. A lot of those deals are about to be signed. Also, keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. Watch where he's going to get traded.
Suns at Pels. Pels hanging on for that 10 spot.
Yeah. Do they really care, though, in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you two over here.
What happened? NIT.
Thank you.
There we go.
And the CIT.
The CIT.
It's renamed this year.
CBI.
Yes.
It used to be the CBI.
Yes.
The CIA has a tournament.
What? So
Well,
it
Vandy
was
plays
college
tonight.
basketball.
Oh, you're talking about what the
But what's CIT?
That's above
College
my pay grade.
Invitational Tournament.
I
That's
don't
it.
know. I don't know.
Why just
Something.
keep it as a CBI?
Well, we got some good games in the NIT tonight.
Tell me about them.
We got Belmont, Vandy. Oh, that's right across the street from each other. I got Belmont early plus 4.5. That number's already dropped to 2.5. Get it while you can.
If I won't
Get it
talk
while
about
it's hot.
if I don't talk about
Exactly.
the Tigers in the NIT, I'm sure not talking about anybody else in the NIT.
Hey man, got to take pride. Tigers.
Got
won.
to.
Hey, what about NIT championships? We've been talking about that
Exactly.
for the past year.
Exactly.
You can't turn
They
your
don't
back on the NIT now in the barking.
Go
dog.
on, next time you go to FedEx Forum for a Grizzlies game, look up in those rafters.
They don't play one shiny moment for that.
They got NIT Final Four banners up there. I don't know about those. I'll say that. But hey, it is what it is. A championship is a championship. Yeah, let me take that back immediately. An NIT championship's not a normal championship. But it's one. It's something. I don't know how much it counts though, but that's all we have for today. Let me get out before I get myself in trouble. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Greg Gass and Brent Beard, Drew Hill, and Beau Marchant for their contributions to the program. For Brett, for Bryant, I'm Gabe. Enjoy your night. Tomorrow will be our last show of the week. Join us then tomorrow at 3.
Sports 56.